¿Qué tal, gente? Soy Lobito, bienvenidos a otro video del canal, bienvenidos a otro video de Genshin Impact, bienvenidos a otro video de aventuras. Esta vez nos toca completar el evento de Rosas y Mosquetes. Desde ya hace un par de días creo que está el evento ya disponible, desde ayer o anteayer, no estoy seguro. Pero ya es hora de empezar a completar este evento, así que vamos a ver nada más que nada la historia que nos trae. He visto que está Ayaka aquí en Fontaine, eso me parece sorprendente. Sé que yoimiya también va a aparecer. Tengo entendido que también va a estar ayato y vamos a ver uno que otro personaje nuevo. Así que nada, vamos a empezar con esta aventura. Y nos dicen que tenemos que ir a la plaza de la corte de Fontaine, y ya desde aquí se puede ver esto de aquí, así que parece que hay una especie de festival, así que nada, en marcha. Vaya, qué bonito está todo esto, ¿eh? Wow. Ok, aquí inicia todo.
Seriously? But, Mr. Morris, I don't understand, sir. How can you only be telling me this now?
Ah, Xavier. ¿Quiénes recuerdan a Xavier? La verdad que es un personaje bastante antiguo ya en Genshin. Si no me equivoco, lo vemos por primera vez en
But what
Inazuma.
about my film?
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to come up with something on your own. Take it from me. Sometimes you just have to let things go. Sí.
Oh. Ya, entonces tenemos entendido que el men no va a poder grabar su kinografía, que es el equivalente a las películas acá, en la vida real. Xavier.
Why, if it isn't the dear traveler and Paimon. I really didn't expect to bump into you here at this time.
¿Cuánto tiempo sin vernos, man, de
I
verdad?
was doing just fine until I received some terrible news just now. The investor I was working with for my upcoming film has fallen upon some hard times and is no longer
De
able to
focas
provide the
flacas, ¿no es
promised
de
amount
vacas
of
flacas
funds.
esa la frase?
Can't you just find a different investor?
Claro.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works. We had signed an agreement specific to the Fontaine.
Ah, qué pendejo, esto en la vida real no pasa. Si se pierde un inversor, inmediatamente se consigue otro. Es imposible que pueda haber un acuerdo tan estúpido, en realidad.
What's that?
El Festival Fontinal Kinográfico.
Oh, is this your first time participating in Fontaine's Fontinalia Film Festival? Then allow me to fill you in. The Fontinalia Festival was established to commemorate the legendary Loch Knights, who went on a quest to search for the Oceanids, and eventually welcomed the Hydro Arconageria.
La anterior Arconte Hidro,
is
ok.
deeply connected to the founding of Fontaine, as well as its unique laws and trials. It's one of the most important festivals for this nation.
But what's with that weird expression on your face? It's like you're trying really hard to remember something.
Ah,
A
I
ver,
was
ese
just trying to
sonido.
recall the exact
Es un
description from the
triángulo.
books,
Hizo sonar un
in order
triángulo.
to avoid any unnecessary arguments over semantics.
Well, either way, Paimon thinks she gets it now. It's just like the Windbloom Festival in Mondstadt, and the Lantern Rite in Lilith.
Ajá.
Yes,
Cada
those are
nación
festivals of a
tiene
similar variety.
su
Who
festival.
doesn't like a good festival? And just like those of other nations,
Qué rápido el
will hold a
Festival de Fontaine
plethora
ya.
of events around this time each year. To commemorate the Loch Knights, people will imitate them by putting on special costumes, raising golden cups, and going door to door asking for pure water. But a few years
Agua,
ago,
okay.
Lady Furina started to find the whole idea a little drab, and so decided to change the part about pure water to
Ay,
sweet.
Furina. Ay, Furina.
Really doesn't surprise Paimon at all.
The whole thing seems more akin to a carnival now, and it's quite popular among the kids. Every year you can hear a bunch of them saying, "Trial or treat."
Trick or treat. ¿No era trick or treat?
Oh, that sounds pretty fun.
Trial or treat. O sea,
How does that connect back
juicio
to the
dulce.
film festival you
O sea,
mentioned?
no me das dulces, te llevo a juicio. O sea,
Ah, yes,
interesante eso.
it appears I've strayed
Poquito
off
extremo.
topic. I just got too excited after seeing you. Let me get back to the point. The Fontinalia Film Festival is an event proposed by the Fontaine Film Association this year. Now that film technology has matured as a medium, it's the perfect time to introduce more people to the art form. During this time, people may submit films to be evaluated, and the entry with the highest score will be given the Furina Award by the association.
El premio Furina, ok.
The what award?
The Furina Award! You know, after the Hydro Archon. They coined it while Lady Furina was still in power, but even though things have changed, no one has made any motion to update the name. Perhaps everyone still thinks of it as a pretty appropriate name. Even though she isn't the Hydro Archon any longer, Lady Furina is still Fontaine's superstar. Anyone with eyes can see the way she shines on the stage.
Huh. Alright. Guess the name does work pretty well when you put it that way.
Oh, but who would have guessed there'd be an issue with the funding? How will I ever explain this to Miss Chiori? Not to say all the other actors who
Chiori,
traveled
vamos a ver
all
por
the way
primera vez a
here from
Chiori.
Inazuma.
Chiori?
La primera mención de Chiori
Sounds familiar.
ocurre cuando
I wonder
sale
if we heard that name before.
Kirara. Kirara la tiene en uno de sus diálogos. Creo que tiene una tienda de ropa en la corte de Fontaine,
Yes, that's
exacto.
her. I asked her to oversee the event's art direction, including the design of the actors' costumes and appearances.
Supuestamente va a ser un support dedicado para Navia.
Remembers now? Navia said that her clothes were designed by Chiori, and Kirara's outfit too.
Ya ven, les dije que tenía razón. Kirara también la menciona.
How to describe her?
Dudaron de Lobito.
She tends to be pretty direct and can be very forceful when it comes to dealing with people. The fashion world in Fontaine has dubbed her the Thundering
La
Seamstress.
costurera
Her
tronadora.
remarkable designs have led many Fontainians to become very interested in Inazuma. Anyway, Chiori is acquainted with all the actors I've
Básicamente
invited from
trajo
Inazuma.
la moda
Without
otaku a
her
Fontaine.
help, I don't think I would have been able to get such an international cast for the film. She really is a kind soul.
Who are the actors from Inazuma? Do we know them?
Why don't the two of you accompany me to the Aquabus station to welcome them? Judging from the time, the Aquabus should be arriving shortly. Chiori will be waiting to meet me there as well.
Son tres, supuestamente. Y eso, empezamos. Son tres. Es Ayaka, Yoimiya y Ayato. Ahora, si me dices que también han traído ya a Miko, ya te juro que... ¡Oh! ¡Qué bonito! ¡Oh, wow! Zona de tiro. Ah, estos son los minijuegos. Pero esto lo voy a completar después. Ok, ahí tenemos a Chiori, muchachos. Así es como se ve. Pero ¿por qué ese énfasis en las piernas? En los muslos. Uf. Pero ¿por qué ese énfasis? Camarógrafo, por favor. Esos labios. Completamente
Miss Chiori?
resecos. Ok, paro.
Your talk with the investor sure went fast. The Aquabus hasn't even arrived yet. Oh? And who are they?
Qué buena
allow
voz,
me to
¿eh?
introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. We've heard the
Tiene un
owner of
acento
Chiori
así de
Act
chica del valle.
is a skilled seamstress, so it's a real pleasure to finally meet you in person.
A ver, ¿la halagamos por la ropa de Navia o por la ropa de Kirara? Que las dos me parecen impresionantes. A ver, voy a dar clic con los ojos cerrados. No sé si no me pueden ver. No tengo evidencia, pero tampoco dudas. Oh. A ver. ¿A qué le di clic? Ok, ya está bien.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure she wouldn't always look like a cat that had been unceremoniously dropped in a bucket of paint.
Bueno, honestamente habíamos conocido primero a Kirara y Kirara fue la primera que nos habló de Chiori, así que creo que es mejor comentar sobre Kirara.
Well, it's like this.
Ya que el atuendo de Navia sí... O sea, es hermoso, sí, pero es de Fontaine, o sea... En cambio, el de Kirara es recontra innovador en cierto sentido, sí.
You did remind me that this investor was a little bit sketchy.
O sea, el atuendo de Navia no deja de ser un
Yes,
atuendo de Fontaine.
there's no
sí.
doubt about that.
Es bonito, pero sí, es un atuendo de Fontaine.
But how could I
No
pass
tiene
it up?
nada diferente a los...
He offered me twice as much
Tiene
as the
todo. O
others.
sea, tú la ves y es Fontaine. Ok, paro hasta ahí, ¿no? Ya no extiendo más el
And
tema.
therein lies the problem.
Yes, but just put yourself in my shoes. After obtaining such an excellent script, it's only natural that I would want to make the most of the film. The budgets that the others had proposed were nowhere near enough. It's difficult to find someone willing to front such a large amount of mora, so...
Don't be sad, Xavier. We might be able to help scrounge up some more together for you.
Oh,
¿Estás
thank you,
seguro de eso,
Paimon.
Paimon?
That means a lot to me. But the cost of the film is staggering. I'm afraid that any mora we can scrounge together in a short amount of time won't even be able to cover the actors' fees.
We need to move on. What's happened has already happened, and there's no changing it. But now's not the time to give up.
Se parece a Kaguya. Kaguya-sama.
What? You're saying that you have a plan?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm simply saying I wouldn't give up just yet. The actors I recommended aren't just after Mora after all.
A ver, a ver, a ver. Quiero saber si son más personajes los que van a venir. Llegó la Aqualínea. Ya, Ayato, confirmado. Ayaka, ya con su atuendo de fontaine. Y la preciosa yoimiya.
Really? Then where do you live?
We Malazines live in Mercy Village. The only way to enter is from underwater.
Oh, you must be pretty tired after work every day, right? I mean, you have to swim all that way just to go home.
We are so thoughtful. But some Malazines choose to live in the court of Fontaine because it's so much more convenient.
This is our stop.
Oh, we've arrived. But
Hace tiempo que no veíamos a Ayato en algún evento. Esto va a estar interesante.
I also enjoyed Aval's introductions to Fontaine along the way. Everything you described was so clear and detailed that we can't help but want to hear more.
No sé por qué, pero para mí me parece un poquito anticlimático que Ayaka ya tenga el atuendo de Fontaine ahorita. O sea, mejor se lo hubiera puesto al momento de grabar, no ahorita. Pero bueno, igual es agradable ver a personajes que hace tiempo que no. Bueno, yoimiya poco a poco está volviéndose la favorita, creo, de
Welcome to
Hoyoverse.
the court of Fontaine.
Chiori, you sure have changed a lot. This is the first time we've seen you since you left Inazuma.
Oh.
I haven't realized
Ah, ya se
it's been so
conocen.
long. I was in such a rush when I left that I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Thank you for extending the invitation, Mr. Xavier. I'm looking forward to a fruitful trip here in Fontaine.
It's an honor to have the head of the Kamisato clan visit us.
So they are who you meant when you said you had actors coming from Inazuma?
Mhm.
It's the Traveler and Paimon.
Wow, what a coincidence! Ayaka and I were just talking about you on the way here. Are you also here for the film?
Sí.
We just ran into Xavier earlier and came over with him.
But I'm not an actress. Sir Kamisato and Lady Ayaka are the real actors here. I'm just tagging along with Ayaka to have a good time together.
Pensé que yo siempre sería la protagonista.
About that, I mean, how was I supposed to contact you when I was making preparations for the film? I figured you were probably busy and I didn't want to disturb
Bueno,
you.
salvé una nación de hundirse,
I
así
could
que
only keep you
sí
in the
estaba
back of my
ocupado.
mind while I sought other actors to play the lead roles in the film.
I had been thinking about a surprise reunion with you during our trip here, but you still managed to surprise me first.
Oh, so you all know each other already. My, what a coincidence. What
Sí,
are the
claro.
chances everyone could be brought together here like this? Why don't we go to Hotel
Espera,
Delaware and
ahí
catch
decía
up
qué
over a
causalidad.
meal? I've
Tremendo
already made
error
a
de
reservation.
redacción ahí.
Huh? Did you reserve 2 spots for us too?
Yes, of
La
course, of
mierda.
course. I'll be sure to tell the boss to serve a few more delicious dishes just to make sure there'll be enough food.
Very well. Then please, kindly lead the way, Mr. Xavier.
Pucha, para los Kamisato, los hermanos, aquí va a ser... Ver Fontaine va a ser como estar en... Han estado encerrados en Inazuma tanto tiempo.
Wow, the buildings in Fontaine are so tall. Just look at how big they are. And there's the fountain that Aval mentioned earlier. It really is a magnificent sight. And look at that huge spinning sphere. Where does it get its power? Wait a sec. Could it be one of those clockwork mecha we've heard so much about?
No.
So this is what food from Fontaine is like. It sure is different from what we have in Inazuma. How should I describe it? It seems like you have to go through a lot more steps to make them.
Exacto, estás acostumbrada a comer arroz y pescado. Bueno,
Yes.
carne
When I
también,
first
pollo
went to
también, pero
Inazuma, I actually thought
la
the
comida
food there
japonesa es muy
tasted
buena,
a little
pero
too bland. It
aquí en
took some
Fontaine
time
vas a
for me to
probar un
get
montón de
used to
cosas
it.
nuevas.
Let's get back to the purpose
O bueno,
of
la
this
comida de
trip for a
Inazuma, en
moment,
ese caso,
shall we?
japonesa.
How have preparations for the film been coming along, Mr. Xavier?
Well, I've already assembled most of the film crew, a lighting specialist, a prop manager, and a costume designer. I've also bought the copyrights from the novel's author.
Oh,
No.
it's called The Two Musketeers, right? I read the script.
Los
you
dos
sent me on the way
mosqueteros,
here.
vaya, vaya.
The story is pretty good.
Originally,
¿Qué pasó
I
con el
was planning
tercero?
to start filming as soon as
¿Dónde
Sir
está
Kamisato
D'Artagnan?
and Lady Ayaka arrived
Rayos.
in Fontaine, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem.
¿Qué
Oh.
pasó ahora?
What did
Ah,
It has to
lo
do with the film's
inversionista.
investor, Mr. Morris. He suddenly informed me this morning that he's encountered some financial trouble and will be unable to release to me the amount of funding agreed upon.
It's said that Fontaine's legal system is well developed. If he has violated the contract, then can't you simply take him to court over the matter?
Well, I'm still more concerned about filming. Even if I were to take him to court, I'm afraid it would take months before the case could even be heard.
Then, is there a way we could raise funds ourselves to solve the problem?
¿Ya?
I've considered that option too, but unfortunately, it's difficult.
A ver, muchacho, tenemos a 3 chicas muy guapas y hay una nueva meta en Twitch. Podemos generar dinero. Tranquilo, Xavier. Tengo una idea.
Mr. Xavier, if Ayaka and I were willing to perform for free, would that resolve the problem you are currently facing?
Hay que tener un corazón bien noble
No,
para
out
hacer
of the
esto.
question. To have you come all this way just to act for free? Oh, no, that won't do.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Xavier. My brother and I had actually intended to work for free after receiving your invitation. Inazuma has only recently reopened its borders, and needs to strengthen its relations and cultural ties with other nations. We didn't have many collaboration projects with Fontaine in the past, so we hoped this trip would serve as a good start for the future.
Indeed. You could
Ok,
say
si lo ven desde
that's
ese
the
punto
real
tiene
reason why
razón,
the
sí.
Ashiro Commission agreed to come to Fontaine.
I understand, but having you two act for free just doesn't seem right.
Not at all. While we're officially here to conduct a cultural survey of sorts, we must express our sincerity if we want to establish formal cultural ties with your nation. This film will serve as proof of friendly cooperation and cultural exchange between Inazuma and Fontaine. It's my hope that the film can be finished and released as smoothly as possible. If you still
Okay.
don't feel comfortable with this arrangement, I would also be more than happy to
No
be
puedo
introduced to
evitar
some
ver
other
a
renowned
Chiori se ve
individuals in
bien chiquita.
Fontaine's literary and artistic circles.
Recién me di cuenta que se ve bien chiquita. Ay, no, man.
All right, I'll do as you say.
Creo que es el ángulo de la
Thank you,
cámara ahí en
thank
ese
you
momento.
so much.
Pero al lado de
I'll be sure
Ayato
to
se vio
cobble
bien
together
chiquita.
enough Mora now, even if it means selling my house, my camera, and every single family heirloom.
Come on now, no need to go that far. I'll also help you out as a brand sponsor.
Y nosotros podemos ayudar a crear
Me
calidad de
too.
amigos.
Even though I didn't bring much more to spend on this trip, it's still better than nothing.
You are too kind, all of you. I really don't know how to.
Irónico, pues todos son de Inazuma, técnicamente. Chiori también, técnicamente.
Ew.
Es el
Alright,
honor,
enough
es
about
el
that.
honor de Inazuma.
Now that we have Xavier's savings, my support, and 2 leads who
Los
are willing to act for free,
inazumanenses
I think we will
no
be able to
trabajan
make
para
this
vivir,
happen.
viven para trabajar.
So, instead of Mora, you'll help with filming and production.
Oh, but how can we help with that? We don't know much about making a film.
All right, pull yourself together, Xavier. Tell us if there are still any open positions left among the crew.
Me da risa cómo ella toma el mando
All
acá.
right, let me think. We still need a
Se
camera
supone que Xavier es el líder,
operator,
pero
a clapper
Chiori es
loader,
la que está
and someone to
tomando el
manage
mando acá.
logistics.
A ver, danguerrógrafo, o sea, fotógrafo, claquetista. Claquetista es el trabajo más fácil.
personally serve as director, but I've been too busy working as the producer. So the positions of director and director's assistant will also need to be filled.
Ya sabemos quién va a ser
Knows
nuestro
what the
director.
director and the logistics support person do, but what's a clapper loader?
The clapper loader is responsible for using the clapper board to
La
record
claqueta,
and
exacto.
organize the information of each shot when the camera operator begins shooting.
Es
The work
solamente
requires
golpear
both
un
patience
pedazo de
and
plástico que
careful
se abre y se
attention to
cierra.
detail.
¿Qué tan difícil es?
A clapper board? Oh, you mean the thing they hold that goes clap whenever they start filming?
Yes, that's right. Are you interested
Sí
in
creo que
that
Paimon es
job?
la más adecuada porque como ella puede flotar,
For
se
sure.
acomoda
I've
fácilmente.
always wanted to try that.
All right, then you'll be our clapper loader. I can find someone from the store to help with logistics. What do you think, Xavier?
Oh, fine by me. As for our camera operator, I was thinking of
Ah,
letting
a
the
mí.
traveler take the role.
Ok.
Oh, she's great when it comes to using a camera. Paimon can't even count how many things we've taken photos of during our journey.
Yes, that's also what I was thinking. I noticed the traveler had an eye for photography and composition when we worked together previously.
I'm sure
Uf,
that's
eso fue
due to the
eso
traveler's
fue
journey
hace...
across to that and all
Se
the
siente como si
places
fuese...
they've seen.
Si
After so many
fuese...
adventures,
Hace siglos eso.
using a camera must be second nature by now.
Inazuma se siente tan
What do you
distante.
say, traveler? Are you interested in the job?
Luces... Mientras puedo poner... Luces dan tipo acción.
Thank you. It really means a lot to me. Come on, friend. Let me give you a big warm
No, no, no,
hug.
no, no. Hasta ahí nomás, hasta ahí nomás. Oh, para. Hasta ahí nomás.
So all that's left for us to find is a director and an assistant.
Ya.
Oh, me. I want to be the director's assistant.
¿Estás segura,
All we need
yoimiya?
to do is help the director, right? I can handle that.
All right, then all we need is a director. Oh, all the well-known directors in Fontaine are
Se
probably
conozco
also
una
busy working
persona,
on
de
their
hecho,
own films
es Xavier.
these days. I'm not sure who will have time to help.
Oh, Furina helped out a theater troupe recently by serving as an artistic consultant. She could be a good director, right?
Se la pasa todo el día ahí
Besides,
comiendo
no one sees anything else
macarrones.
right now.
Furina? Do you really think Lady Furina would be willing to help us with our humble
Si se lo
project?
pedimos, sí, Xavier, te vas a
Isn't that the
sorprender.
name of Fontaine's Hydro Archon? My brother has already informed me about what happened here in Fontaine.
Yep, that's her. She helped out a theater troupe not too long ago, and now she's taking up work as a director.
Well,
I saw that musical. Her performance was perfect, and the storyboards were also excellent.
No te vi por ahí.
Don't let her
Chiori.
former identity intimidate you. She's the best candidate we can think of right now. You'll never know until you give her a shot.
Me gusta la voz que tiene.
fine. You're right, Chiori. I'll do anything for the sake of my film. Anything! Then I'll have to ask the Traveler and Paimon to show me the way to Lady Furina's residence. I just hope
Es
she'll
hora de
agree
seguir
to help.
doxeando a Furina y mostrándole a más personas
Do
su
you need
dirección.
us to also
Fantástico.
come along?
Qué buenos amigos somos.
No, there's no need to trouble you with this.
Okay.
Besides, you've just arrived in Fontaine, and I'm sure there are many places you would like to visit. Just leave this task to me. It's part of my duties as the producer.
Very well. Then we'll be waiting to hear the good news.
I'll go with you. By the way, you might want to consider bringing a gift.
And don't worry, we won't simply drop you off at Furina's place. We know Furina pretty well by now, so having some familiar faces there should help your chances. Besides, the whole thing was our idea in the first place.
All right, then I'll start making preparations. As for the gift...
Llévale pastel nada más. No necesita
A
más
gift
cosas.
for someone who was once seen as the Hydro Archon.
Pastel,
I wonder
así de
what she would
sencillo.
like.
I recall that Lady Furina once fancied a clockwork ring.
¿En qué momento dijo
so
eso?
perhaps I should get another exquisite clockwork contraption for her.
Huh? Can't we just bring some desserts like
Exacto.
the Fontanelli
Yoimiya sabe a qué me refiero. Ella lo sabe.
But wouldn't that be a little too cheap? She does like desserts, though.
Isn't the Fontanelli Festival happening right now? I heard Abel tell us on the Aquabus that Furina introduced the tradition of going door to door and asking for sweets. To do something like that, she must have a real sweet tooth.
I agree with Yoimiya. If the gift is too fancy,
Exacto.
it might
La
actually
va a hacer-
make her
la va a hacer
feel
sentir
more
comprometida, exacto.
uncomfortable.
Alright then, let's go buy some Fontanelia mousse.
Ah, su madre, qué rápido. Ah, es que estamos en el mismo
But
restaurante,
will that
claro.
really be enough? We'll be asking her to do a lot of work, you know.
Va a aceptar, acuérdate, Xavier, acuérdate de mí.
You're right. We need to further sweeten the deal.
Huh? You want something even sweeter than Fontanelia mousse?
Yes, we'll need a gift that's sweeter than any dessert in the world.
But what could that be?
Your words of praise.
¿A qué te refieres con eso? Ok.
go ahead. No need to worry about us. Oh, I hope Furina will like the gifts we prepared. Oh, and if you still think we should get something else for her, just let me know. I should be able to make some fireworks.
No, 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 no hagas eso, yoimiya. No, no. Oh. Me siento como un niñero controlando aquí a... A ver, ¿qué dices tú?
Looking forward to the good news.
¿Eso es todo lo que tienes que decir? Ok. ¿Chiori no está por acá?
We're here. This is where Furina lives.
Sí, aquí.
Okay, I'll go knock on the door.
Mano, tranquilo, no es que sea... Mediodía, oye.
Who are you?
Lady Furina, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Xavier, a film director.
Hello. Oh, is that the traveler in Paimon I see behind you? And who's...
I'm Chiori.
Ah, the one from Chioria Boutique. Hello, hello. So, what are you all doing here? Do you need something?
Necesitamos que dirijas una película.
Just get up, Furina? It's already past noon, you know.
Paimon.
Oh, Paimon means the weather is so nice in the afternoon and the sun is so warm. Just like how you make us feel.
Oye, voy a usar todo este, voy a usar esta línea. Voy a usar esta línea cuando coquetee con alguna chica, definitivamente.
No. I was just up late last night reading some novels. What does sleeping in have to do with the weather?
This is a small gift we've prepared for you, Lady Furina. We hope you like it.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a regular person like everyone else now. Fontaine mousse.
Miren esa cara.
It's one of my
Esos
favorites.
ojitos.
That's great! So, actually, there's
Oh no,
something
hubiera
we need
tomado
your
una
help
captura.
with.
No tomé una captura. Tomaré captura después.
Given your renowned passion and understanding of drama, I would like to ask that you serve as the director of our film crew.
Oh, but didn't you just say that you're a director?
Sí, pero el
Yes,
mento...
but for this particular project, I'm mainly working as a producer. Besides, I'm sure that your understanding of the performing arts far surpasses my
El men dijo prácticamente, es mi primera chamba.
Are the traveler and Paimon also part of the film crew?
Yo soy el danguerrógrafo
We sure are. Paimon's the clapper loader and she's
y
the
Paimon se
camera
encarga de la
operator.
claqueta.
Camera operator. That can be a pretty technical job, and it directly affects the final quality of the film. Are you really up to it?
Me tiento a responderle así, pero quiero responderle con amabilidad.
No, I'm not questioning your abilities. It's just that I've never really seen you use a camera before.
Oh.
Maybe you can come up with a test for the traveler and see for yourself. If she
Ok,
can
Paimon se
satisfy
mandó,
you with
se
her
lanzó a
camera
hacerlo.
skills, then you'd have nothing to worry about and can join the team. What
You sure are getting better at rolling with the situation, Paimon. Oh, I do wish to see how skilled the traveler really is with a camera. Alright, how about this? We'll work with what we have. I'll give you some scenarios and see if your work is up to my standards.
A la orden.
Very good. It's essential for the camera operator to understand the director's vision. I'll make my decision after seeing your work.
Ok.
Are you ready? I have high standards, you know.
Por si acá, hashtag
Okay.
mi primera
Hold
chamba.
the camera and I'll give you a scenario.
Ok, Stella, la dueña del taller Beaumont, siempre se ha sentido orgullosa de su maquinaria de forja. Pues su intensidad y temperatura pueden controlarse con total precisión y le ahorra un gran esfuerzo a los herreros. Vamos a grabar un pequeño corto publicitario de su taller. Recuerda destacar la superioridad de su maquinaria de forja. Hoy día estoy medio disléxico, no sé por qué. Ok, deberás grabar varias escenas. Requisito de posición, luego deberás escoger una posición para grabar adecuada. Al grabar algunas escenas se genera un requisito de relación por lo que... Ok. Intenta satisfacer... Ya. Seleccionar narración. El taller Beaumont. Espera, vamos a tener que hacer con voz. Muy buena. El taller Beaumont se encuentra en la corte de Fontaine y en él se utiliza maquinaria de forja para crear armamento. Posición para grabar. Mostrar una escena del taller Pemont. Acá está. A ver, aquí, en la segunda escena dice mostrar una escena en funcionamiento. Acá está. Y acá está la narración. Ok. Requisitos: mostrar en tranquilo ambiente de trabajo. Una posición se puede representar se puede claramente animar a los personajes, pero si tiene cierta limitación para los personajes. Yo creo que esto estaría bien. Claro, porque demuestra que está trabajando relajadamente. Es un ambiente de trabajo agradable. Mostrar el armamento. ¿Por qué hay imagen de postres? Una figura de personas, sin embargo, se presenta el intermedio. El armamento, pero no hay ninguna que muestre el armamento. ¿Qué es esto? Debe ser esta, ¿no? Y a ver, mostrar una escena del taller. Aquí está el taller. Si necesitan armas, elijan el taller Beaumont. Ya. A ver. Mi primera chamba. El taller Beaumont se encuentra en la corte de Fontaine y en él se utiliza maquinaria de forja para crear armamento. Estas máquinas pueden controlar la intensidad y la temperatura de forma más precisa, por lo que no puedo leer tan rápido. Ok, ya. Yo creo que va de acuerdo, ¿eh? No están en armamento dispuestos a las cajas. Acá está claro. Yo creo que siguió todo el pie de la letra.
It appears that you have
Eso.
more skill than I thought. All the shots had a
Mi
great
primera chamba.
composition, and I could really feel a connection to the characters and their lines.
¿Qué quiere decir eso?
Does that mean you agree to be our director, Furina?
Did you think I would agree just like that? After our performance of the Little Oceanid, I've begun to make a name for myself again, you know. In fact, I've already had several troops approach me for the Fontaine Film Festival. Unfortunately, the scripts were all pretty boring and didn't pique my interest. If
Okay.
others were to find out I agreed to work with you so easily,
Hey, but didn't we have a deal? What else do we need to do to convince
¿Qué
you,
más
Furina?
quieres, Furina? Te hemos traído dulces, te hemos demostrado que puedo.
well, what about
Ok,
the pay?
dinero, claro, la plata mueve a la gente, exacto.
You know how much you're willing to pay me to be the director? The pay is also an important factor.
Déjame
for you to
adivinar, te quedaste
consider,
sin
you
los
know.
fondos que te dio Nivelet. Te lo gastaste todo en dulces.
Well, I can offer you this much.
Bien, se va a horrorizar cuando escuche el
What?
número.
That's all? If Nervilet were to hear of this, he could charge you with underpaying your labor.
I'm sorry, but our crew is in a tight financial spot at the moment.
Miren, ¿cuánto...?
Well, even though it's highly unlikely now that I'll join your crew.
Ahora que sí, ahora no sé si por la obra acepte, por el nombre de la obra, pero algo me dice que va a ocurrir de nuevo eso
Are
de
you planning to make?
como en su historia.
Our script is an adaptation of The Two Musketeers.
Wait, you mean the suspense thriller novel that was a #1 bestseller?
Y ahí está, justo.
Oh, so Furina's read it too.
Of course I read it. I've always had a keen interest in artistic works that strike a chord with the populace. I see.
Okay.
It all makes sense now. You must have used most of the budget to pay for the copyright.
Not really. The novel's author transferred the copyright to me practically for free once he heard that I wanted to make a film adaptation of the story. The lack of budget is due to another issue.
He probably just wants to get his name out there. So, Mora isn't the most important thing to him right now. It reminds me of a delivery courier who wears one of my designs while traveling all across Teyvat. I didn't charge her much for the outfit either. The exposure she provides for my brand is well.
Estás confesando que has usado Kirara para promocionar así descaradamente tu ropa, ok. Ya no me siento tan bien por Chiori, la verdad.
Are you a big fan of this story
Pobre
for
Kirara.
you?
La usan como publicidad,
It's
no sé si decir
alright.
humana o gatuna.
The pacing of the story is good, but the character relationships could use some work. When I was reading it before, I always felt like some things were left on a rather unsatisfactory note. I have high standards, you know. Mr. Xavier, if, hypothetically speaking, I agree to be the director, how much
Mira, con tal de que no
freedom
seas
would
como
I
una
have
directora de
in
Netflix,
terms
todo
of
está bien.
script revisions and creative interpretation?
Oh, as much freedom as you would need. I wouldn't dare doubt the tastes of Fontaine's greatest star.
Good. Then I'm free to alter the script as I see fit.
Absolutely,
Ok,
no
esto va a
problem.
terminar muy mala. O puede terminar muy bien. Es tu oportunidad para rodar una coreografía que te guste.
All right. It seems
Que
that your
nos
crew
cuide,
really
dice.
can't go on without my care and direction.
Sí, claro.
So, you agree?
Yes, I agree. Although the pay is well below what someone of my caliber deserves. A great script calls for a great director. I mustn't let a perfectly good story be ruined due to lack of funds. If you have fine cheese and bread, you wouldn't just let it sit on the counter
Buen pan
and get
con
moldy
queso.
just because you lack an oven, right?
Qué buena analogía, de
Oh,
verdad.
Hydro Archon above. I'm not dreaming.
La tienes enfrente.
Somebody pinch me.
There's no more Hydro Archon.
Bueno, ex Arcota.
And it's still a little early to celebrate. There's a lot that goes into shooting a film. Although the trickiest tasks
Más bien
of
ahora la gente de
finalizing the
Fontaine tiene que
script and
rezarles
casting the
a
actors
Newell,
have already been taken care
que ha
of.
recuperado su autoridad de
We'll
dragón
still
ancestral.
need to reserve filming locations. Not to say set up lighting and props. And by the way, since we'll be filming The Two Musketeers, we'll need to find an action choreographer. Ideally, a professional who
Oh.
has actual experience with
Aquí
muskets.
se nos va a presentar otro personaje nuevo.
Yes, I've thought about this as well. I was hoping that you might know someone who could handle the job.
Me? If
Chlorine.
this was before, I could have simply asked Chlorand.
Chlor-
But it's
Total, ¿es
already
Chlorine
been
o
some
Chlorand?
time since I last talked to her. Navia can also use firearms, but unfortunately, her style is quite different from that of the characters in the story.
Could we ask the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Oh, you mean the Special Patrol's musketeers?
Yes, that's right. They work with muskets every day. I can't think of anyone more qualified than them.
América.
They would be under Nervilet's jurisdiction. Unfortunately, I don't have any connection with them at all. So, in the end, we still have to start by
Tranqui,
talking
le
to
llevamos una
Nervilet.
muy buena botella de agua y con eso se
No
va.
need to go to all that trouble. I know their captain, Chevreuse.
Oh, chevreuse.
Oh,
Chevreuse.
you do?
Chevreuse. Chevreuse. Chevrolet.
For
Okay.
no particular reason. Running a business means dealing with some trouble from time to time, and she's helped me out on a few occasions. In return, I've helped her handle a few situations in which
Recién
the
me di
special
cuenta que la
patrol
visión de
couldn't get
Chiori
involved
es de
directly.
Inazuma.
So, we've gotten to know each other over
Ok,
time.
es un caso muy diferente al de Thoma. Thoma es de Mondstadt, pero su visión es de Inazuma. Chiori es de Inazuma. Pero Chiori está en Fontaine, pero su visión es de Inazuma. O sea, quiere decir que obtuvo su visión antes de llegar a Fontaine, a diferencia de Thoma que lo obtuvo cuando llegó a Inazuma.
What do you all think about asking the captain to be our musket action choreographer?
Eso me hace
She
preguntar,
sounds professional
me hace
enough.
cuestionarme.
She
¿Tendrá
is
un
a
arge?
captain, after all. I have no objections.
But I imagine the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol must be busy with their duties.
Well, it just so happens that she's also not the kind of person that's just after Mora. As for whether she has time,
Qué coincidencia que hoy día todo el mundo, nadie quiere dinero.
Then I'll leave that to you.
La única que ha pedido
My
dinero hasta ahora es
phone is
Furina.
unset today, so I've got to go. You can just tell me how things went when we discuss tomorrow's plan later.
No
Esa es,
problem.
se la pasa viviendo de macarrones nomás.
Having Furina join feels like a big boost to our team.
Of course. Just wait until the day of our premiere. You'll witness the true power of my name in these lands. You'll be so glad I agreed to help. I can guarantee that even the standing tickets will be sold out. I'll be sure to ask some people I know to see if they'd be willing to act as extras.
Seems like you're finally getting more comfortable with your own reputation now.
I didn't ask for the Clapper Loader's commentary, Paimon.
Trágate esa, Paimon.
Then let's
Trágate
get
esa.
going. I happen to know where Chevreuse is today.
By the way, I'm curious. If my pay is so low, then what about our 2 lead actors? Didn't they travel here all the way from Inazuma?
Exacto.
Actually, they told us that they see the trip as part of a cultural exchange, so they didn't ask for any pay.
What? So is every person in Teyvat who doesn't want money gathered?
Sí, eso es lo que yo
to
estoy
shoot this
diciendo.
film?
Qué
Don't
coincidencia.
tell me Chiori isn't being paid either.
Bueno, a Chiori no la necesita porque sí está promocionando su tienda de ropa.
I already knew Xavier from before. And he's also agreed to give
Ya
my
ven, ya
brand some
sabía,
good
ya.
exposure.
La publicidad es lo que le importa a ella.
It seems the gods
En
have
realidad
really
gana más así.
smiled upon you, Xavier. And that certainly doesn't include me, mind you.
Ok. Le agradecemos a los arcontes, excepto Furina, que ya no es arconte. Ok, me parece que la vi a Ahí está, acá está, acá está.
This is the place.
But where's the captain? There's
Oh, perdón,
She's
Paimon.
over there. The one with an eye patch reading in front of the newsstand.
Oh, her! Paimon could tell there was something different about her. She seems kinda intimidating.
Please wait here for a moment. I'll go fetch her. She's working now, so you might not want to get in her way.
Working? But isn't she just standing there and reading a novel?
Just trust me.
Sí, así dicen las autoridades públicas. Estoy trabajando, dicen, y están comiendo donas.
Chiori sure is a mysterious person. She claims just to be a fashion designer, but she knows all these powerful people.
Créeme que a veces la gente más
The
común
port of
es la que
Fontaine
más
isn't particularly
te sorprende al final.
tolerant of visitors from overseas, so it isn't easy for a foreigner to promote their brand here. Even more so in the competitive world of fashion. Even a local like me just trying to make a film has to face all kinds of challenges. So I can only imagine what Chiori has been through to get where she is today.
Exacto.
I'm sure that having more connections has definitely worked in her favor.
Chambeando
Reading
duro.
on the job?
Detective novel.
One main character?
No. Multiple. Branching storylines.
I see. How's the plot coming along?
One of the main characters is about to make a choice that will affect the rest of his life. I'd wager he's going to make the wrong choice.
Any way to speed things up? There's something I need your help with.
You know that doesn't depend on me. It all comes down to what the character chooses.
Which is exactly why I'm here to help.
Ey, 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 ey. Este men sospechoso, ¿eh? Este men está sospechoso. Ah, está. Ah, ya. Ya entendí. Está investigando un caso, parece, acá, de algo turbio que está ocurriendo. Ya sabía, ya. Sí. Me estaba confundiendo. Pensé que de verdad estaba leyendo una novela.
What's going on?
Hand over whatever you're holding.
Oh, it's just a book. I didn't buy anything else.
Then I'm sure you wouldn't mind letting me have a look.
Excuse me, officer. I don't mind you standing around here, not purchasing anything, but I'd prefer if you didn't disturb my customers.
Nah, ya, saca la merca de una
Business,
vez.
you know?
Don't give me that act. You won't be able to get off so easily either.
Están contrabandeando algo,
I
¿eh?
am Chevreuse, captain of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. I will say this one last time. Hand over whatever you're holding at once. And before you do anything unwise, let me remind you that I'll have you on the ground before you can even think about making a run for it.
All right. I'll give it to you. But please let me say something first. If there's any contraband in that book, then the shopkeeper here is the one who slipped it in.
Ah, manotazo de
I don't have
abogado.
anything to do with this.
Why, you tried to leave me on the hook, huh? You were the one who said you wanted it.
Save it for the interrogation room.
Y ahora, ¿qué cosa es? ¿Qué estaban vendiendo? ¿Qué
Take
cosa
them
de
away,
contrabando?
Letelier.
Ajá. Chuta.
What's going on here? One second you're reading a book and the next you're escorting people away.
And who are... Aren't you the traveler who's been all over the papers recently? Chiori, I'm assuming what you wanted to ask me about
Me da
has to
risa,
do with them,
me da risa
right?
como ahorita que ya terminó lo que tenía que hacer y ya está más suelta.
Maybe I can let you in on what's happening.
Su
then.
tono de voz ha cambiado completamente.
Now that Vache has been brought to justice, no new shipments of synth will be made and distributed to sellers. The Fontaine guards have been busy collecting the remaining synth still circulating on
Su
the
tono de voz
market.
cambió completamente.
Thanks to a tip from our reliable source here, this should be the very last batch.
Oh, so you were pretending to read a book in order to catch the bad guys. Oh, Paimon almost forgot to introduce ourselves. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler and Xavier.
Hey, I'm
Xavier.
chevreuse. You probably already heard me introduce myself, so I won't bother repeating it.
Yeah, why didn't you make a move as soon as you had the chance? Were you worried that my intel wasn't accurate?
No, I wanted to see if the shopkeeper would turn himself in first. All he had to do was come up to me and say that he didn't know where the synth had come from. If he did that, then I wouldn't have had to press charges on him.
Ok,
He had
presión
the whole
psicológica.
day to turn the synth over to chevreuse. But instead, the moment I came up and blocked chevreuse's line of sight, he took the opportunity to sell it off.
Yep, he made the wrong choice, even though the right choice was right there in front of him.
But you knew they wouldn't make the right choice.
Yeah, I knew. I was just hoping I'd be wrong for once.
Ok, o sea, quiere decir que gracias a Chiori logró
Enough
hacer.
about that, though. What did you want to ask me about?
Oh, you see, it's like this.
Le cuentan a chevreuse todo lo que ha ocurrido.
The Two Musketeers. You certainly have a good eye for a story. So what do you need me to do? Just be the action choreographer for the actors?
Sí,
Yes, that's
básicamente
right.
sí, que
I
nos
want to
enseñes a
make sure we
disparar.
get all the details right. I want the actor's posture and understanding of firearms to be as realistic as possible. However, I'm afraid this work will require a bit of your time, since you'll have to be present whenever we're filming. Also, as for the pay...
No need to say any more. I'll join.
Ah,
Just like that.
y
Really?
déjame adivinar,
You're
tampoco
willing
quieres
to help
moras.
us with our humble film project?
Sure, it's no big deal. As I said, we've wrapped up our investigation here, so I don't have any other tasks on my plate for the moment. Besides, I personally really like this novel. I even have the collector's edition at home. Stories where justice prevails over evil never get old for me.
Then
Ok.
we've got a deal?
Yes, I'll see you on set tomorrow.
Oh my! I can hardly believe it! I should tell Lady Furina immediately. Oh, and I must tell the prop manager and lighting technician to get everything ready. We start filming tomorrow!
Ok.
Calm down, Xavier. The film is going to take more than just a day to finish. Still, I should also head back now and start preparing the actors' costumes and makeup.
Pero van a usar sus mismos disfraces, o sea, sus mismos atuendos, no es que van a...
Traveler, Paimon, please stay for a moment. I have something to tell you.
Oh, ok, a ver.
Then I'll take Xavier back. Poor thing. He's so excited that he can't even walk straight anymore. I don't want to spend our first day fishing our producer out of the fountain.
Hasta mañana.
See you tomorrow.
Las dos, tanto chevreuse como Chiori, tienen voces muy maduras para su estatura. Ok. Sobre todo Chiori, es bien chiquita.
Tell us, Chevreuse.
Have you read The Two Musketeers?
Sé más o menos
The
de qué va.
story is about a pair of children born into the household of a baron, and their struggle to survive together and take revenge for their mother. They were raised at the baron's estate, where their mother worked as a maid. The two were illegitimate children that the baron had with the maid, so they were never treated well by anyone. One day, upon returning home, they found their mother had been murdered
Ok,
and
eran
left
los hijos
dead on the
bastardos del
floor.
varón que
It
tuvo
was
con la
quite
empleada.
evident
Ok.
that the culprits were the other members of the baron's household, who never had any kind words to say to them. However, the baron was able to exert his influence and keep the whole thing under wraps. The mother's death was
Lo declararon
eventually
como algo
deemed
de
as a
suicidio,
suicide,
ok.
and there was no chance of bringing her murderers to justice. The two siblings decided to flee and someday avenge their mother. Many years later, members of the baron's family suddenly started turning up dead one after the other, all killed by gunshot. A rainbow rose was found on each of the victims' bodies, being the flower that the kid's mother liked best.
Claro, era
The
la
Baron
firma de
believed
las
that the mother's soul had come to take vengeance on him, so he lived in fear each day. But it was actually those two siblings who had fled all those years ago. They relied on each other to survive and trained day and night, eventually becoming adept musketeers. They used all of their abilities to collect evidence and clues.
Ok, me gusta
executing
la
their
trama de
plan
esta
and
historia.
exacting revenge on the Baron. Their actions let the truth behind their mother's death be known to all.
That's quite an exhilarating story.
Yep, the Baron got what he deserved for his evil deeds, and justice was able to prevail. It was just the kind of story I enjoy.
Oh, so is that why you were so willing to join our crew, chevreuse?
You could say
Lo
it
que me
was
gustaría
one
saber
of
es
the
cómo
reasons.
perdiste el ojo.
Oh, you mean there were other reasons too?
I've read the reports about you. Whether it was at the trials or
Ah.
when you lent your hand to resolve our nation's crisis, you've shown that you've got a strong sense of justice, as well as a great mind for deductions.
Y quieres que te ayudemos con un caso, ¿cierto?
Yes, you're as sharp as I expected. It seems you've experienced many similar situations before. There's been a recent murder case involving muskets. The perpetrator's methods appear to be very similar to what is described in the novel.
Oh, cielos.
Huh? Really? But Paimon didn't see anything about that in today's papers.
The Marechaussee Phantom hasn't yet released any information to the public because the investigation is currently at a standstill. The murderer is extremely cautious.
A murder involving firearms? But not that many people use those in Fontaine, right?
Impossible. We perform a routine inspection of our firearms and ammo reserves every day. If one of the weapons had been fired, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Besides,
Es alguien que tiene un
I
arma
trust the
aparte.
members of my platoon. However, well, that's all I can disclose about the case today.
Huh? What do you mean?
I hope you all can go back and get some shut-eye. You can decide tomorrow whether or not you'd like to join the investigation with me. I'm aware this might not be the ideal time to add more to your plate, but the more capable people we have, the better the chances that justice will prevail.
Y nadie lo está investigando,
Carrying
solo
out
tú.
investigations isn't actually supposed to be our responsibility. Our job is to apprehend the perpetrators. Finding them is really up to the Marechaussee Phantom. You could say I'm taking part in the investigation out of personal interest. I don't want
Ok.
people to see muskets in a negative way, and also, I'm concerned
Sí,
about the
suenas
similarity
muy
between the
americana,
crimes and the
chevreuse.
story.
Ese es un argumento muy americano.
You mean they might be connected somehow?
I suspect so. Just to make myself clear, this is not an order, nor is it a deal of any kind. It's a request, nothing more. If you two have any interest in the case after we finish filming tomorrow and are willing to assist me, then I would be most grateful.
What do you think, Traveler?
Hoy han pasado tantas cosas, ¿verdad?
Yeah, you're right. Paimon's getting a little tired too. We've really been hustling all day.
Tú solo flotas.
You'd better head back and get some rest. It's good to keep a calm mind, especially when you're about to make an important decision. Otherwise, when the moment comes, you might end up like that shopkeeper and not even realize that the right choice is right there in front of you.
Oh, completamos la primera parte, ok. Me pregunto si ya puedo completar la segunda.
It's finally time to meet up with everyone. Paimon even dreamt of making the film last night. If Paimon remembers right, we're meeting at Hotel de Boer. Let's get going.
Ok, al restaurante.
Ayaka, yoimiya, you're already here.
Good morning. Xavier said yesterday afternoon went well.
Sí, recontra bien.
Yeah, and how about you, Ayaka? What were you up to yesterday?
After we split up, Ayato went to see Udex Nervilech at the Palais Mermonia.
Oh.
I was originally
Los
thinking of
juzgandos
going
hidros
with
se
him,
juntaron.
but he said he could manage it himself. He told me to go see the sights around Fontaine and to enjoy the local culture. So I rode the aquabus with Yoimiya and visited the opera house on Aranias Island.
¿Se fueron hasta
I
allá?
couldn't
Su
believe what we
madre.
saw there. Two mechanical puppets that were dancing together.
Sí, el funeral de Copelia y la condena de Copelius.
Yeah, those two. Amazing, aren't they? We sat and watched for quite a while. It was mesmerizing. Like we could keep watching them forever.
Oh, it was the same for us the first time we saw them too.
Afterwards, we went swimming at the beach. Well, diving to be exact.
Desearía haber estado ahí.
Time I ever breathed underwater.
Ok.
I held Ayaka's hand and we counted down together. 3, 2, 1, and then splash! We
Como
were
no,
beneath the
como no
waves.
estuve ahí, maldición.
At first, I didn't dare to open my mouth. But once
Oh.
I couldn't hold my breath any longer, I decided to take a big breath in. Turns out the water wasn't as salty as I imagined. It didn't really taste like anything at all. Before I knew it, I was breathing like normal down there. It was an amazing feeling. Ayaka said I was too nervous and needed to loosen my grip. She got used to everything way faster than I did.
I knew that the traveler could do it, so I had no doubt we could do it too. That helped me feel
O sea que,
at ease as
o sea,
soon
ya,
as we
con
dove in.
esto en realidad es una implicación tremenda en el lore, porque esto significa que cualquiera que pisa Fontaine puede respirar bajo el
The
agua.
underwater world in Fontaine
O
truly
el
is
agua de
beautiful.
Fontaine es muy
I
diferente al
love
agua del
seeing the
resto de Teyvat.
maritime flowers blossoming underwater, like little candles lighting up the streets at night.
Yeah, and there were so many creatures that we've never seen in Inazuma. Like those fish that shimmer like a sword blade. Whoosh! Oh, and those big fish that call when they see people.
Ok, Ayaka llevó las medias mojadas a otro nivel ya con todo el atuendo.
Oh, you mean hunter's rays and blubber beasts.
I just love the name Blubber Beast. Just wait till Pops and the others hear about this. They probably won't believe a word I say.
Ok.
Yoimiya was down there for quite a while. It was dark before we finally rode the aquabus back to the city.
Claro.
I figured she'd want to sleep.
Gracias, Hoyers, por soltar una tremenda bomba de lore en un evento
Yeah,
que solo se puede jugar
even
una
I was
vez.
worried I wouldn't be able to get up. I still felt like I was drifting in the waves when I went to sleep last night. But as soon as I woke up today, I remembered that we'd all be shooting a film together, and I was ready to go.
Speaking of the film, where's everybody else?
My brother and Xavier were speaking to the restaurant owner about using the place as a filming location. They should be here soon.
A ver.
As for the others,
We're here.
Ahí está. Chiori, chevreuse.
Please excuse my tardiness. I just finished the special patrol's 6-mile morning jog.
A la mierda.
Wait, 6 miles?
¿Por qué el diálogo en inglés dice millas? ¿Qué americano es esto? De verdad que estamos en Estados Unidos ahora.
So tired. I heard you all chatting, so I decided to come down.
Oh.
I sure could use some of that endless
A ver,
energy
quiero ver cómo van a
everyone else
reaccionar
has.
Yoimiya y Ayaka al arconte
good
hidro.
morning, everyone.
Morning. Can someone fetch me a cup of coffee?
Ya está
Or
actuando
milk
como
without the
directora.
sugar?
Ujú.
Sure. I'd be happy to do that for you.
Ayaka, no puede ser la...
You can't go anywhere. Please, have a seat over here so I can get started on your makeup. The last thing I want is
Ay, Ayaka,
coffee
tan
stains
humilde
on my
Ayaka.
costumes.
I can get the coffee. It's the perfect job for an assistant.
No, ¿qué? Es un estereotipo tremendo eso, del asistente de dirección. ¿Qué estereotipo y qué,
So much
qué
energy.
degradación hay, Dios mío?
Seriously, what's her secret?
Oh, Yoimiya's always like that. But you sure look exhausted, Furina. It's because you're not used to waking up so early, huh?
Of course not. I spent the whole night reading the novel from cover to cover, marking sections that either need to be omitted or adapted.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect you to be so thorough.
Well, I was the biggest star in all of Fontaine after all. It takes more than just a pretty face to earn a reputation like that.
Okay.
I know how to get serious when the situation calls for it. I went all out when I was acting as an Archon, so why would
No lo digas así, Furina, por favor. Fueron 500 años. Ahora se le cae, miren, se le cae. Ah, no.
Oh, thank you. The sound of being called director and the aroma of coffee feels almost as refreshing as hearing the birds chirping in the morning.
It seems everyone has managed to arrive on time.
We've reached an agreement with the restaurant owner. We are free to use the second floor to shoot our film.
Oh.
Really? That's great!
He is really looking forward to our film and hopes that providing his restaurant as a filming location will attract more customers.
No puedo evitar ver a Chiori y no sé por qué, no sé si será su atuendo, pero yo la veo bien chiquita, bien bajita.
Well then, Mr. Xavier, I'll leave the rest to
Ah,
you.
ya podré comparar tamaños cuando sea
Okay,
Cuando sea
thanks.
jugable, y ahí podré compararla con otros personajes, a ver.
First, I'd like to
Porque
introduce
hasta,
our new
porque incluso
members.
tiene sus zapatos son de plataforma. O sea,
This is our prop manager,
Veronique.
Veronique. She'll be in charge of
Atresista,
all the
okay.
film's props and items.
ya, el atrezo, ok.
And this is Bono,
Bono.
our lighting technician. He'll be in charge of lighting and illumination to set up each
Ok, él se
scene's
encarga de los focos.
atmosphere.
Wow. Sure feels like we have some real professionals joining the crew now.
First of all, please allow me to first express my sincerest gratitude to everyone in the crew. When my investor informed me yesterday that he wouldn't be able to provide the funds, I really thought that this was the nail in the coffin for this film. I had
Okay.
no idea that I'd find so many people willing to help me on such short notice. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
No need to be so cordial, Mr. Xavier. We're all honored to be a part of this.
Your works made a profound impression on me when I saw them back in Inazuma. I am sure that someday, this film will be remembered as a prime example of cultural exchange between Fontaine and Inazuma.
Yes, the story is the reason I agreed to join. I can't bear to even imagine what this film would look like without the very best director.
Anyway, I would like to make a promise to everyone that as the producer of this film, I'll do whatever I can to ensure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. This is not just my film. It also embodies the thoughts and feelings of every person
Falta que
here,
Xavier se tome una
as
foto
well as
con toda la
the
gente,
endless
como hashtag
effort
mi
we are
primera
about
chamba.
to pour into it. So, without further ado, the two Musketeers will officially begin filming now!
Ok, let's go. Bravo.
You may take it from here, Director Furina.
Ok, Furina,
Alright.
¿da tu discurso?
Listen up, everyone.
Ok.
The first scene takes place when the two young musketeers are living at the Baron's home, still unaware of all that is about to happen to them. We'll need props and lighting to set the scene. Our lead actors can go get their makeup done, and extras, please take this time to go over your positions.
Whoa. Seems Furina's really kicking things into gear as the director.
Is everyone clear? I don't want anyone traipsing around the set like
Pato
umbrella
mareado.
midgets. All right,
O más,
cameras will
queda
start
mejor cuando
rolling
dices
as
como un
soon
pollo
as
sin
the set
cabeza,
is ready.
corriendo por todos lados.
Let's make a film that'll make some serious waves in Fontaine.
Esto es turbio, Furina. Esto es muy turbio lo que acabas de decir.
Not the kind of waves that drown people. I mean, the good kind of waves.
Ay, ay, ay.
Seems like she's still a bit traumatized by that.
Sí, definitivamente. 500 años, Paimon, acuérdate, 500 años. Ah, ¿eso fue todo por el segundo acto? Ok. Ah, no, recién inicia. Qué tarado soy. A ver, pregunta a los demás si necesitan ayuda. A ver, primero a Chiori, a ver. No creo que necesite ayuda, Chiori,
Ayaka has mentioned you to me before. She said that you two were great friends when you were kids.
¿Y qué pasó?
No talking. I'm thinking about how to do your eyeshadow.
Nah,
Ah, yes.
cámara
To
criada.
help me really look the part.
To achieve a more young and naive look for this scene.
Are you saying the wrinkles around my eyes are too deep?
You just have too much of a calculating look in your eyes.
You sure don't mince your words.
Quiet.
Acá siento que hubo algo aquí. Pero no voy a opinar. Yoimiya, ¿necesitas más café para llevarle a Furina?
About here.
A little more to the left.
Ay, Yoimiya, ¿cómo te has degradado tanto?
Hey, Yoimiya, do you need a hand?
No, I'm fine. You know, doing the lighting is kind of like designing a fireworks show. It's interesting to imagine what kind of atmosphere the lights will create.
Sí, pero por favor, no
I heard
prendas
that the
ningún...
Traveler will be operating the camera
ningún
and
fuego artificial
Iron
aquí,
Man
por
will be the
favor.
clapper loader, right? Those roles are just perfect for the two of you.
Sí, es la primera chamba de Paimon.
Really? Is that because it'll be easy for Paimon to hold the clapperboard while flying?
Exacto.
Sure, there's that, but that's not exactly what I meant. I just think that after all your journeys together, you two must have developed a super close bond and just naturally know how to work with each other. if I'm not mistaken, the director will want the cameras rolling as soon as the clapperboard goes clack.
Se graba antes de eso, pero luego se desaparece.
Oh, I
¿Verdad?
see.
Acá ¿cómo van a editar eso
It's
sí?
amazing to see the magic
Hay
behind
PCs en
filmmaking.
el mundo de Taiwán. Hay PCs con tarjetas gráficas para...
Oh, on it! I've got to get back to work. Chat with you later. Oh, it's exciting.
Yoimiya en
to see
realidad
we
se llevó
all working together to
la
bring the
parte
film
más
to life.
difícil, creo yo. La parte más pesada. Pero bueno, con su energía...
Seems like Xiamyun's really getting into it. But she was right. We do have a super close bond, don't we?
Ujú.
Paimon's really happy to hear that.
Prepárate para grabar. ¿En dónde? ¿Aquí? Ah. Ok, let's go.
So, this is a real musket?
Son pistolas. Pero sí, con el
Oh,
mismo
it's just a
mecanismo
prop
de...
weapon.
son de A3,
Not
son
bad.
de...
Have you
falsas.
seen a real musket before?
Only in books and newspapers. I made this one based on the relative shape and proportions I saw in reference images. When we're filming, some special gunpowder will be applied around the muzzle, which will help create the flash and smoke effects of a real gun being fired.
No,
Which
básicamente
means it'll
balas
be
de
up to
salva.
the actors to portray the recoil.
That's right. The sound effects for gunshots will also
Claro,
be added
solamente
in
es la chispa,
post-production.
ni siquiera se puede reproducir el
Thank you,
retroceso.
Garnet.
El retroceso
I
lo
think I
tienen
know
que
where to
fingir.
start now. However, the musket's gears and firing pin could still use some work. Adding some wear on the metallic components will make them appear more realistic. Also, be sure to rub the muskets with some oil each time before we start shooting. That'll give the impression that the firearms have been well maintained.
Good point.
You seem to know a lot, Miss Chevreuse. I assume you use these types of firearms on a regular basis?
No, fíjate.
Yes, I perform routine maintenance on my weapons every day. Just like we as people need to eat and sleep,
Es como
muskets need to
preguntarle a un
be
militar,
cleaned and
hermano,
maintained.
¿sabes usar un arma de fuego?
I also perform similar care for my sword every day, and familiarize myself with its shape and weight, to the point where it feels like a natural extension
Ay, no me
of
hagas
my
acordar de
body.
tu diálogo que a cada rato suena cada vez que estás ahí.
Yes, this way, our weapons
Una
will never
espada es
betray
como
us in the
una,
heat of
como
battle.
una hoja de té, algo así era, no me acuerdo.
Yes, well said. It seems we have the same philosophy on this topic.
Oh, sounds like they found a common interest to talk about.
Ok,
Though these props
pinkies.
differ from the muskets I use, I can still give you some pointers.
Ayaka en plan, mi amistad con Yoimiya terminó, ahora chevreuse es mi mejor amiga.
Good. I look forward to your instruction.
First and foremost, never point the weapon at anyone, regardless of whether
Sí,
it's a
regla
real
número
or
uno de
prop
las
weapon,
armas,
or whether
sí.
you're holding it or it's on the table. This holds for any time when you're not actively engaging an enemy.
Okay, understood.
When aiming the musket, extend your arm so that it's level with your shoulder, and use your eye to look down the weapon's sights.
Like this?
Not bad. Now, try saying your lines.
A ver.
This is the end of the road for you.
Ayaka en escuela americana, no, perdón, no me funen, no me funen.
Good. Now turn your body a little. That way, you'll give your enemy less of a target
Okay.
to work with. And relax your shoulders. Here, this is the end of the road for you.
Oh.
Huh. Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Ayato para no grabar, ahora le va a decir
Director Furina, there's something I wish to
que sea
discuss.
chevreuse quien sea el...
Oh? What is it?
Like this?
Yes, much better.
What do you think?
I do see your point. But are you sure you wish to do this?
I believe it would be most fitting.
Well, if you insist. All right, I understand. Miss Ayaka, Miss Chevreuse, could the two of you please come over here?
Están despedidas.
Are we gonna start filming now?
Let's go see.
¿Qué serían? Están
What is it?
despedidas.
I have a question for you, Miss Chevreuse. Would you be willing to play the role of a musketeer?
Oh,
What?
To clarify, I would like to turn over my role to Miss Chevreuse.
But brother,
Don't worry, Ayaka. I actually view this as a good thing.
Nah, te quieres escaquear de todo
I
el
was
asunto.
becoming troubled trying to set aside some time to speak to the staff at the Palais Mermonia. I would like to have some conversations about the cultural exchange
Como aquí
between
la
our two
burocracia es muy
countries.
compleja, claro,
And I've
típico
heard
de
that the bureaucratic process
funcionarios
here can
públicos,
get
hermano, te comprendo.
rather complicated. Now I will be able to focus on my work. Besides, you also know that I'm not really one for public performances.
Are you really sure? From a director's point of view, I also felt like the relationship between the two musketeers in the original story could be improved.
Pero convenía mejor que sea Ayato porque se
The
parecen.
older brother in the story plays the lead role with his overbearing character. But this causes his character to overshadow that of his sister. And the theme of the two supporting and relying on each other isn't conveyed very well. But if we were to change the siblings to two sisters of a similar age, then that aspect of the story might come through more clearly.
Pero no se parecen en nada.
Also, I've seen you instructing Ayaka. That cold and dignified personality is exactly what we need for the older musketeer.
Of course, even with all these insights, the decision should still be made by Miss Chevreuse.
Chevreuse mentioned that she really likes the story, right? Paimon bets that she'll take the role.
Dependerá si no interfiere mucho con su
All right,
trabajo.
I'll take the role.
Oh.
Good. It's decided then. I'll get started on making edits to the script. We'll also need to make some immediate adjustments to the lighting, props, and costumes. I have a feeling that our adaptation will be even better than the original story.
Siempre que se ha dicho eso, nunca ha pasado.
You're doing a great favor for me, Miss Chevreuse.
Don't mention it. I like this character, so if anything, I should be the one thanking you.
Well, since my brother is the one who brought up the idea, I suppose there's no need to worry. Let's go, Miss Chevreuse. I look forward to working with you.
Please, just call me Chevreuse.
Chevrolet.
Seems like you're really going out of your way to solve the problem I was having with your makeup.
Surely you jest, Chiori. I assure you that I was mostly motivated by a desire to spend more time on formal business.
Oh, come on. You really think I'd buy that? According to what I've heard from Ayaka, her brother is someone who can juggle 10 different matters at the same time. I'm sure you have other reasons for backing out.
Perhaps. Ayaka always said she wanted to go out and see more of the world, just like the traveler. But
Okay.
I feel that she needs not only to see other nations, but also to make some different kinds of friends. I think it would be harder for her to make new connections with me constantly by her side. I would like to give her some space.
Okay.
Alright, go on. Spoil her some more.
Ayato, it's too bad you're stepping down from the role. Paimon really wanted to see you act as a musketeer.
Esto es hacer justicia.
No need to poke fun at me.
Llueve
I'd wager
justicia
that
desde
you
el
also
cielo.
felt that I wasn't the best candidate.
It's a little hard for Paimon to
Pero
imagine
hubiera
you
quedado
saying
mejor
those
porque
lines.
eran dos hermanos, se parecen. Iba acorde,
Yes.
pero
I've made an
no
appointment
sé,
to meet
con
some people from the
Chevreuse
Palais Mermonia.
no se parece en nada a
Now,
Ayaka. Le
I'll
falta
have
un
some
ojo
more time to
encima.
prepare.
A menos que sea como Beidou.
Traveler, get the camera ready. Paimon, get the clapperboard. Actors to your positions. We're about to start shooting the first scene.
Go on now. And please take good care of Ayaka.
Yep, don't worry.
¿Qué? Cuenta con nosotros.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing the film when it's finished.
Y mira, y desaparece Ayato. Ah, pensé que iba a pasar de largo ese y desaparecía
All right.
Ayato.
Now that we're all here, let me help set the scene for everyone. The first scene takes place when our two main characters are still living at the Baron's estate. They've been ostracized and verbally abused by others in the household, but they still have no idea why. We want to capture how naive and innocent they are, despite their pain. Chevreuse will be playing the role of the older sister,
Tulip.
and Ayaka will be the younger sister, Iris. Be sure to get close-ups of the main characters at the right moment. Silence on the set! Lights! Camera! Action!
Clac.
Let's go!
Tulip, Mother's been out for quite a while now.
Perhaps she went to pick some flowers on the way home. You know how she loves flowers.
Iris, Tulip! I'm home!
Plano medio corto de la madre.
Mother! You were out for so long, we were beginning to worry about you.
I'm sorry, but I'm back now.
Ok, tengo que
safe
controlar
and
las
sound.
escenas así al
Here,
paso.
I brought your favorite treat. Apple turnovers.
Mother, what are those bruises on your hand?
Primer plano de madre.
What bruises? Oh, I must have bumped into something while I was working yesterday.
But I didn't notice them this morning.
Then perhaps they're from when I accidentally tripped when I was out just now. By the way, did you have fun playing at home?
¿Qué pasó?
What's the matter, Iris?
Enfocar a Iris.
We've realized that no one really wants to play with us.
They even took Iris's doll and spat at us.
Ah, la mano, qué turbio.
And they even called us names. They said we were...
Shh. It's all right. Don't worry. Girls, listen to me.
Pero
It doesn't matter what anyone says. Don't listen to them.
soy
No
un
one can define you
camarógrafo,
with
pero
such
impresionante,
words.
¿eh?
You both have wonderful lives ahead of you, just like your names. You will both blossom like beautiful flowers. Maybe your time to blossom hasn't quite come yet, but one day, you two will bloom more beautifully than anything else. Don't let the soil you're in now ruin your future beauty. Understand? My dear daughters.
And cut! Not bad. The actor's emotions were all on point. Let's keep that take. Also, if our clapper loader could avoid shouting at the start of the scene next time.
Got it.
Great. I was a little worried that my nerves would get the better of me. What about you, chevreuse?
I felt fine. The lines weren't too difficult at all. Seems like Furina must have adapted the role nicely.
You two were great. I couldn't tell it was your first time acting in a film. You should have more confidence.
Thank you for your
Okay.
encouragement.
Mi primera chamba, como siempre.
Positions, everyone! We'll move on to the next scene after we try a few more camera angles.
Ok, el rodaje va a buen ritmo y tras encargarse de algunos detalles, Furina ordena pasar a la segunda escena.
This scene is when our two characters return home, only to discover their mother has been murdered. Ready? Lights! Camera! Action!
Mother, we're back. Mother?
Oh.
What's wrong, Tulip?
Iris, stay away!
Huh? Why? What's... Mother! Mother... She's...
There's poison in this cup.
Huh? I could have sworn I've seen this kind of cup before.
Those aristocrats. They didn't even try to cover up their actions.
Ayaka llorando, no, mano, se ve muy sad.
Iris, we need to leave this place.
Leave? But now that Mother is gone, where can we even go?
Anywhere. All I know is that we can't stay in this house.
But are we just going to let them get away with this?
We'll have our revenge, I promise you. Just not right now. Come on, let's go.
No, wait. We can't just leave Mother here like this. At least let me leave this rose with her.
Oh.
That's why we went out in the first place. To buy...
All right.
Oh, perdón, te interrumpí, perdón. Furina, lo siento, interrumpí el diálogo.
Goodbye, Mother. We'll avenge you.
And cut! Beautiful! Great performance!
Oh my, you're so amazing, Ayaka! And were those real tears I saw? How did you do it?
I was surprised too.
Thank you for the kind compliments. Actually, as soon as Director Furina said action, I told myself not to think about anything. I just felt the weight of the moment and became the character. It's quite similar to practicing the art of the sword. You clear your mind and focus only on what's happening in front of you.
Ayaka's performance was amazing. Have I discovered an acting prodigy? Pipe down, everyone! We need to move on to the next scene!
Ok. En esta escena, las hermanas se dedican a abrir un negocio. Mientras tanto, el día se pasa volando mientras ruedan. Nos despedimos de ellas. Se van las tres juntas, seguro a comer.
Are we done already? But Paimon wants to keep playing with the clapperboard.
Todo lo ves jugar nomás, ¿no?
How do you feel, Traveler? Is your arm sore from holding the camera all day?
Sí, pero me gustó la
Good
experiencia.
work, you two.
You too, Chevreuse. You were quite the actress today.
I've read this novel many times before. I have a good grasp of my character's mindset. Anyway, do you remember my request from yesterday?
Sí.
Oh, right! We were having so much fun that Paimon nearly forgot. You have a case where the murders seem really similar to the cases in the novel, right? So, how are they similar exactly?
In the story, the main characters grow up to become two musketeers, always using their guns to carry out their revenge. And on each of the victims, they place a rainbow rose as a signal that they've returned.
O sea, quiere decir que también había una flor en el...
Yes, that's correct. We found rainbow roses just like in the novel.
Oh, that does sound pretty concerning. Especially after seeing the script today. Ooh, now Paimon can't stop wondering what kind of ulterior motive the murderer might have. What do you think, Traveler? You're smart. Paimon wants to hear your thoughts.
Está bien, te vamos a ayudar.
On behalf of Fontaine's Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, thank you for your dedication to justice. There's no time to lose. We should start investigating right away. Follow me.
No.
Right now? But we just got done filming all day. Paimon's so tired.
The most valuable intel always comes after nightfall. They are like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea. If you don't stay vigilant, you will pass right by them in the fog.
Podemos,
That's how one
aunque
of my
sea,
favorite
descansar
books
un
always
poco,
puts it, at least.
chevreuse. ¿Es que no duermes tú?
So, where are we going right now?
Let's
dónde?
start by checking out some workshops that sell mechanical components. If the culprit is making their own weapons, it's very likely that they'll visit those sort of places.
Okay, let's go.
Welcome to Le Show's Clockwork Workshop.
Ah,
How can I
livre.
help you?
Livre.
Hello. I'd like to know if anyone has purchased some special components lately.
Special components? Sorry, could you be more specific?
I mean the kind of components that aren't typically used for clockwork toys, but for firearms.
Huh? For firearms? No, we don't sell those sort of things here.
Es
Don't
una tienda de juguetes
misunderstand.
después de
I'm
todo.
not here to cause any trouble. We are merely investigating a case, and we're hoping that you could cooperate.
Well, to be completely honest, I'm not even sure what kind of components that would entail.
Resortes.
Has anyone ever
oh.
purchased components here as an individual rather than on behalf of an organization?
We have a lot of customers who buy toys, but those who buy components are all regular customers who buy in bulk on behalf of their organization.
Is that so? I understand. Thank you for your cooperation.
You're welcome. It's the least I can do.
Ok, aquí no fue entonces.
Oh, hey, Chevreuse. Run out of oil for
Estelle.
your musket again?
Hello, Estelle. I want to know
Estelle.
if anyone has come to your shop recently to order some firearm components.
Oh, is this another case? Let me think. I don't think so. Some people have requested that I make some prop guns for the Fontaine Film Festival, but I refused all of those requests.
Oh? Why's that?
Because there's no profit! I only make things here that can do some real heavy lifting. I don't have the energy to make some new molds just for the festival.
Then, has anybody come specifically looking for mechanical components?
Well, I usually sell off my scrap to the Fleuve Cendre.
¿Al qué?
I don't typically
Al
give them to
four
one
cent.
specific person.
I understand. Thanks for your cooperation.
Al four cent.
Don't
Ok.
mention it. Always happy to have the Musketeers' patronage.
Ok.
Seems like we haven't found any leads to go off yet.
Nadie ha vendido. Entonces, ¿de dónde ha sacado las piezas?
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, Let's head to Flivsandra next.
Flugsander.
Are
Okay.
you sure?
People
might not be so thrilled to
Flugsander,
see the
okay.
captain of the special patrol there.
You think so, huh?
Huh? No what?
That I grew up in Flivsandra.
Oh.
Hello, I'd like to ask some questions.
A
I
ver.
don't know anything.
¿Qué tal, Emerald?
Don't worry, I'm not here to arrest anybody.
You say that now.
It's the truth. Here, take this as my guarantee.
Wait, did Paimon just see what she thinks she saw? Is the captain of the special patrol bribing a citizen?
Seems you're different from the other guards. What do you want to know?
Have you heard anything related to muskets in Flivsandra lately? Anything at all?
Muskets, huh? All I know is that about 2 weeks ago, we started hearing some loud noises at night. So loud that it's been waking me up.
Were they gunshots?
Possibly. It's hard to tell around here. Someone's house collapsing, a pipe exploding somewhere, it's all the same. But the noises I'm talking about definitely happened after I fell asleep.
Do you know where the noises were coming from?
I don't remember clearly.
Is it that you don't remember, or that you need to think about it some more?
You tell me.
Then please, think about it some more.
She's giving her Mora.
A lo mejor son una golosina
The
de fruta.
noises came from the end of the southern waterway. I came out and had a look for myself when I wasn't sleeping well, but I didn't dare get too close. That's all I know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Thanks for the pâte de fruits.
Par de fouet. ¿Cuánto dinero le dice
No
chevreuse?
need to be surprised. I grew up here, remember? I know how to get people around here to talk.
¿Métodos? ¿Qué
Seems you
métodos?
catch on pretty quick. Now then, let's keep going.
Yo no vi nada.
It's been a while, Tetro.
Please,
Tetro.
just get on with your request.
I want to know if you've heard anybody talking about muskets lately.
Information isn't free, you know.
I've heard that bandits have been extremely active in the countryside recently, and they've been affecting the delivery of goods to Poisson.
Poisson.
I can
Oh, perdón,
You're
chevreuse.
still as helpful as ever. One of our men got drunk at dinner about a month ago and lost his gun. 3 days later, it turned up in the corner here.
What's weird about that? He just forgot where he put it, right?
This is Flivsandra, my friend. Anything of value left in the tavern won't ever make it to the next day. But that gun turned out to be an exception. It didn't get any new wear and tear on it, and didn't even appear to have been fired. We were quite mystified as to what could have happened.
I suspect it came back because the weapon was already known to the guards.
Claro,
You
la
mean
hizo desaparecer.
a
La quería
criminal
hacerla
was afraid the
desaparecer.
Marechaussee Phantom would use the shot marks to track them down? Maybe. But if that's the case, the culprit really took great care to avoid getting caught.
I didn't say anything about a criminal.
In Flivsandra, knowing who was killed is as easy as knowing what clothes you're wearing today. It's the guy living in the east side, isn't it? I've never liked him. Every time he's here, he just orders a drink and sits there with a nasty look in his eyes.
So, who was the one who lost the gun in the first place?
Oh.
Don't bother. Even if you ask, he wouldn't admit to owning a gun to some strangers. Not to mention the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
He's right.
I know you grew
Exacto,
up here,
¿quién sería tan
Shelvis.
tonto de confesar prácticamente?
Even though you're on good terms with the Spina, you've still been gone too long. Not many people know you here now, and a lot of people don't like the Special Patrol.
I know.
So take my advice and don't show your face too much around here.
I'll come and go as I please. And I'm afraid I'll be appearing more often due to my work.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Nah, yo le gano.
What's all this?
Ok, tablas de madera.
Broken planks and barrels, as well as some liquor bottles?
Yes, but have a closer look, Paimon. Even though somebody has purposefully tried to clean them up,
Oh.
these are obviously marks from musket bullets. In other words, someone was here trying to improve their shot. They were using the barrels and bottles for target practice.
Could it have been the killer?
Your guess is as good as mine. Although many people at Flivsandra own guns, few hide the fact from others. And even fewer would go to such lengths to hide markings from practice shots. Anyway, Let's go.
Ok. Tenemos un caso entre manos.
Seems like that's all we'll be able to uncover for today.
Paimon feels like we managed to learn a lot more here than up on the surface.
Yes. Assuming that everything we found is indeed connected to our suspect, then their timeline was probably something like this. A month ago, our suspect found a gun and took it home to disassemble it. Once he'd figured out its mechanics, he brought it back. In the following weeks, he used some parts to create his own makeshift musket, and took it to the Fleuve Cendra for target practice. Then, a few days ago, he found his target and carried out the murder. Once the deed was done, he left a rainbow rose on the body, just like the scene in the novel.
That all makes sense to Paimon, but we're still no closer to figuring out the killer's identity.
¿Y quién es la víctima
The deceased
encima?
was a resident of Fleuve Cendra. It's said that he was a poor, solitary man.
En la novela
That's
era
also
un
something I'm
aristócrata.
trying to figure out. If we are indeed following the novel, and there's a story behind the murder, then this murder should be an act of vengeance. But according to our investigation, the deceased didn't have any enemies. He was no saint, but no one's heard of a rival who hated him enough to shoot him dead. Much less care to leave a rose on his body. What message is the killer trying to convey? And to whom exactly?
¿El autor?
We've thoroughly investigated that possibility. He claims to have spent the whole day at the Opera House on the day of the murder, and the staff there have confirmed his account.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Not only that, he lacks a credible motive as well. He has a family of his own, and both of his parents are still alive. I've looked into his records. He was adopted at the age of 6, and all the proper procedures were followed. There are also records of him at an orphanage
Esas
before then.
personas que son las más que tienen las vidas perfectas a veces son las personas que ocultan las cosas más turbias. Ojo. El ejemplo más claro era Dennis Rader.
I don't want to assume anything without evidence. More importantly, I've also had a chat with him in person. He didn't seem like the kind of person who would pull the trigger to
Exactamente,
kill a
aquellas
man.
personas que no parecen son las que sí son al final.
What should we do now? We have all this new information, but it doesn't help us move forward.
Investigations take time. I didn't expect us to catch the culprit in just a single day. How about this? Let's spend the next few days filming with the crew. We can continue the investigation once we're done with the film. I'm sure that given time, new leads will present themselves.
Wait, but weren't you saying Intel is like small, remote islands in the middle of the sea just a moment ago?
Ah, but the book had more than one reference to the islands, Paimon.
Oh, a ver.
Oh? What else did it say then?
As long as you spend enough time sailing through the fog, you'll eventually come across an island.
Oh, ok. Oh, chevreuse está aquí.
What? Never thought that the captain of the security and surveillance patrol could come from the Fleuve Cendra?
No debió ser nada
You mean
fácil.
rising through the ranks? It was a struggle, for sure. But as long as you can distinguish yourself through your accomplishments and skills, you'll eventually be recognized for your worth. If you look at it another way, my life at Fleuve Cendra has actually taught me a lot of valuable skills. Skills like how to barter with criminals or how to think in their shoes. Of course, I'd appreciate it if you could keep this a secret between us.
Definitivamente, chevreuse, no te preocupes. Listo, esperamos hasta la mañana del día siguiente.
It's filming time again. Our schedule is jam-packed for the next couple of days too. We've got so many different locations and sets to cover. Anyway, let's head out and meet up with the others.
Ok, todos reunidos. Ya para terminar todo esto, seguro. Ahora, sí, ya sabía que el tiempo pasaba rápido. Ok, capítulo 3. Acto 3, ¿vale? El rodaje y la investigación del caso van a buen ritmo, y así pasan varios días.
Good work, everyone. We're looking to wrap with our two main ladies today.
C'est fini.
I can already smell our success.
What do you mean, looking to wrap?
Significa que vamos a terminar el rodaje.
Oh, aren't you the expert now?
Sí.
This upcoming scene is the two musketeers' final confrontation with the Baron. There will be quite a bit of action, but no choreography beyond what we've already rehearsed. Anyway, get ready. Lights, camera, action!
Ok, a ver.
The view is beautiful tonight. It reminds me of that fateful night 10 years ago. And now that I've said it, I can even make out the faint fragrance of herbal tea in the air.
Enough, villain! It's time that you pay for the death of our mother!
My dear Iris, have you forgotten your manners? How can you speak like this to your own father?
I'd sooner swallow all of my teeth than call you father.
What did I expect? Seems the daughters have turned out to be just as obstinate as their foolish mother. In this world, mora and status is everything. She thought she could blackmail me using her children and force me to grant her recognition and concessions? Ah, how naive can a woman be?
Mother never asked a single thing of you. All she wished was for us to live a peaceful life, just like the others.
It was you who personally brewed the poison of prejudice and sent Mother to her death. Compared to that deadly poison, the 2 bullets that will soon pierce through your heart will be like sweet mercy.
¡Pum!
And that's exactly
Ayaka con
why I
una
said
pistola
you're
se
just
ve
as naive as
tan
her.
fuera de contexto,
Did you
hermano.
really think 2 muskets would be enough to defeat me? So let's see. What is stronger? Mora and power, or the 2 muskets in your hands?
¡Pum!
Get them!
Oh. Pero...
There are too many of them!
Pero... ¡Oh! ¡Puedo usar a chevreuse!
Be okay. We'll cover each other, Iris.
¡Oh!
And Mother will be watching over us too.
¿Qué hace su ulti? A ver. ¡Pum! Ok, bombas. Voy a limitarme a usar la pistola. Ahí está. Wow. Ok, se puede usar a chevreuse.
Lost.
To think I'd lose to my own 2 kids.
We are no children of yours, and we'll never call that place our home.
Then tell me, what did you do all this for? You lost your mother, and will soon kill your father as well. What will you gain in the end, other than sentences for your crimes?
We will gain our long-awaited justice.
Oh, qué buena.
It's over.
Finally, it's over.
Buen final, ¿eh?
So,
10 de 10, ¿eh? Mejor que
where will
Hollywood.
you go now, Tulip?
I'm not too sure, Iris. Maybe somewhere with lots of flowers? After all, Mother always did love going where the blossoms were. What about you?
I want to go visit Mother's grave.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Huh? Tulip, look!
Una rosa arcoíris.
What is it?
It's Mother's favorite. The rainbow rose. Look, it's blooming again.
Excellent! That was beyond mesmerizing. Even I didn't expect this scene to go so well. And we got it in a single take. All right, everyone. We've got a wrap for Tulip and Iris.
Congratulations, Ayaka and chevreuse!
C'est fini.
Thank you. I didn't expect our parts to wrap so quickly. I wish I could savor the experience for just a bit longer.
Paimon totally understands. Paimon's not ready to say goodbye to the clapperboard either. Filming has really been a lot of fun. You were great too, chevreuse. The way you said Long-awaited justice. It gave Paimon chills.
La
That
justicia
is
llueve desde
indeed
el
my
cielo.
favorite line in the whole book. I still remember trying to act it out in my room the first few times I read it.
Whoa, Paimon would have never guessed you're that type.
Who
Okay.
doesn't like stories where the guilty are punished and justice prevails over evil? Don't forget, I'm the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Captain,
Bueno, es un
I have
cliché,
something
¿no?
urgent to report.
Oh, ¿qué pasó?
Please excuse
Otro
me,
asesinato.
everyone. I'll be back in just a moment.
Otro asesinato, ¿cuándo lo has puesto? Mataron. No, espera.
Okay, don't worry about us.
Espero que esto no sea como el tráiler. Espero que lo del tráiler sea una actuación, pero que no quiero que a yoimiya le pase nada.
Oh? Was she whisked away by work already? I was just about to tell her how great she did.
It seemed like some urgent official business.
Then perhaps we should thank the stars that we were able to wrap both of your parts so quickly today. Anyway, I actually came over to let everyone know that we're all done for today. You can go home and get some rest. And one last thing, Miss Ayaka. Your acting skills today were immaculate as always. Are you sure you won't consider taking up full-time acting? See, I just happen to know this great troupe that's still looking for a lead actress.
Thank you for your kind words, Director Furina. Unfortunately, there are still many matters that I have to take care of back home at the Yashiro
Pero
Commission.
puedes actuar allá en
I
Inazuma.
cannot remain in Fontaine to pursue an acting career. Nevertheless, I will make sure to treasure this incredible opportunity in my heart.
Oh, that's a shame. But I understand. Just let me know if you ever change your mind.
I believe it's also about time for me to take my leave. But hopefully I'll see you on set over the next few days. Even though my part's wrapped, I'd still like to swing by and help out the crew. See you tomorrow, Traveler and Paimon.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
Ok.
Well, what should we do next? Maybe we'll go investigate the case some more with chevreuse today.
Traveler, Paimon, please come with me.
Oh, no.
Where are we going?
You could say that our ship has finally chanced upon one of those small, remote islands of intel.
Ok, ¿qué hacemos en medio de la nada? Aquí, ¿qué pista vamos a encontrar?
Paimon's exhausted. Paimon definitely didn't expect having to float this far after a full day of filming. So, chevreuse, why did you take us here?
¿Tienes alguna pista nueva?
Affirmative. It wasn't anything conclusive, but it should show us a clear way forward. Have you ever heard of someone by the name of Emily?
Emily.
Oh, you mean that famous perfumer?
Sí.
She's a good friend of mine. She's lent me her aid several times in the past to resolve after I discovered the rainbow rose at the scene of the murder. I sent it to her. After all, she's probably the foremost expert on flowers and scents in all of Fontaine.
And then?
There was nothing remarkable about the flower or the trace amounts of soil left on it. But according to Emily, the rainbow rose left by the killer was derived from a very rare cultivar.
Oh.
Huh. Paimon didn't know that there were different varieties of rainbow rose. Paimon just thought they grew everywhere in the wild.
Flowers that are deliberately cultivated will always show some different features from those that bloom in the wild. We already knew that the rose left at the scene belonged to a special cultivar, but with Emily's expertise, we were able to pinpoint the place where it was first picked from.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. So whoever first planted that rainbow rose was probably the killer.
Lo más probable.
And after we checked what we learned against some sales records from the past, we discovered that there's only one person in all of Fontaine who could grow and sell this specific cultivar.
Really? And who is it?
It's the novelist.
Ya les dije, ya sabía, era el
Didn't you
autor.
say he had an alibi?
To be clear, I haven't changed my mind about him. I still don't think he was the one who pulled the trigger. However, that doesn't mean the true culprit never visited him at his home or never purchased a rainbow rose from his garden. Whatever the case, we will have to confirm a number of things with him.
So you mean the next place we need to go is...
Yes, we're going to pay him a visit at his home.
Ok. Les dije, esa gente que aparentemente tiene vidas perfectas siempre son los asesinos.
That should be his house.
¿Qué, en serio vive ahí?
There are so many garden
Uno pensaría
around
que
the place.
el autor de una novela muy exitosa viviría en una mansión, ¿no?
According to what he told me last time we spoke, he hired them so he won't be harassed or disturbed.
Huh. So there are a lot of flowers in his garden, but Paimon doesn't think we'll be able to pick one without alerting the Gardamex.
Right. Which is exactly why I think there has to be a special connection between him and the killer.
So, should we knock?
Just wait here for now. I'd like to take care of a number of those Gardamex first.
But they're so far away. How are you planning to do that?
Don't forget, Paimon. I'm actually the real-life captain of the Musketeers.
A ver, quiero ver tu puntería en acción. Oh, haz clic en el botón de apuntar para iniciar dicha acción. Cuando estés apuntando a un enemigo, haz clic en el botón de disparar para abrir fuego contra él. ¡Oh! En la cabeza tengo que dispararle. Oh, ok. La cabeza. Muerto. Muerto. Tengo una puntería pero tremenda. Y sin mira, o sea, yo tenía una mira por el gameplay, pero ella canónicamente ha estado sin mira.
Wait. Paimon's a little nervous now that we know he could be the killer. Can we go over our plan of action again?
I'll go knock on the door and make sure it's safe inside. Once we're sure that we're in the clear, I'll ask him to come with us for a quick round of questioning at the guard's headquarters.
But can't we just arrest him?
We still have no evidence that he's the killer, or that he lent the killer any direct aid. Still, it would be appreciated if you could pick a rainbow rose from his garden for me while I'm talking to him. It'll help.
Sure, no problem. Just be careful,
Me voy a llevar todas las rosas que encuentre, de verdad. Toc, toc.
Excuse me, Mr. Baptiste.
Baptiste se llama todavía.
Who could it be at this hour? Oh, it's you, Officer Chevreuse.
Would you mind
Total, ¿es
accompanying me
oficial
to
o
the guard's
capitano?
headquarters, Mr. Baptiste? We would like to ask you some questions about a case.
Oh, is it still regarding the murder case from before?
I cannot confirm or deny that at this time.
So it is then.
Listen, I need you to come with me, Mr. Baptiste.
Miss Chevreuse, I'll save you the trouble. Oh, and you two over there? There's no need for you to pick my flowers either. It's not time for them to bloom yet.
La cara de Paimon.
Oh!
By saving me the trouble, you mean...
I will confess. I was the killer.
What?
Huh?
He just admitted he's guilty!
Please relax, everyone. I'm not armed. The musket you're looking for has been buried in my backyard.
Then it's my responsibility to inform you, Mr. Baptiste, that everything you say right now will be used as evidence for the inevitable trial.
Yes, I am perfectly aware of that.
I must say, I hate this feeling.
Oh? Is it because I confessed? Or because you've been proven wrong?
Both, I suppose.
¿Por qué le hiciste eso a la
For
víctima?
the same reason as the one I wrote out in my novel, of course. I did it to exact revenge.
¿Dónde está Eula a todo esto? O sea, estamos hablando de venganza. ¿Y dónde está Eula acá? Deberían haber traído a Eula
I
también.
know you haven't figured out the link between the two of us. Had you done so, I'd have been taken away to the headquarters a long time ago. But that won't stop me from always remembering his grotesque face. After all, he was the one who killed my mother.
Your mother is still healthy and well.
You know, I was adopted as a child. I was referring to my birth mother.
That was never recorded in the orphanage's records.
Please forgive a 6-year-old child for concocting some lies to protect himself after watching his mother die right in front of him.
So, your novel, it was like a record of your life?
¿Por qué siento que esto lo he visto
No,
ya?
Of course not. It was a work of fiction with many embellished parts.
Esto es un déjà vu
But
de cuando conocemos a
I am
Yunjin por
indeed
primera
the
vez.
illegitimate
La historia de
son of a wealthy
la
and
grulla.
influential man
Ok, siento un
who
pequeño déjà vu
abused his
aquí.
power to murder my mother. That part was 100% real.
But the man you killed didn't have a Mora to his name.
He was a hired assassin. An irredeemable beast who sank his fangs into a defenseless woman just for a few bags of mora.
But if that's really the truth, you wouldn't be telling us any of this now. You still haven't managed to take revenge against your father.
I never thought I'd hear that kind of thing from the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
Chuta.
I'm simply skeptical about your motives.
It's simple, really. I've grown tired of everything and don't want to shoulder this burden anymore. You may have considered me too soft to pull the trigger. Well, as it turns out, you are exactly right. I've become overwhelmed by the aftermath of the murder.
So you're going to call a stop to your revenge, just like that?
The true mastermind is too rich and too powerful for me. I've accepted that I will never be able to avenge my mother alone.
Okay.
And so what? The characters in your book never gave up?
Now, Officer chevreuse, I'm the one who has killed a man, aren't I? Are you trying to convince me to commit another crime?
What's your father's name? How do you plan to prove the veracity of all of your claims?
Well, I'd like to speak with you privately.
Sure. Why don't we speak privately at the guard's headquarters?
No, it has to be here. I must ensure that we won't be overheard.
Oh.
Fine. Let's talk here.
When I said won't be overheard, I meant by anyone. I would like to speak with you and you alone.
Oh. ¿Está bien, nos vamos o 3 puntos? Está bien, nos vamos.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Please stay safe, chevreuse.
Creo que escogí una opción media radical, pero...
Let's hear it.
Will you really believe what I'm about to say?
Well, that depends on what you're going to tell me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Then listen closely.
No, yo también quiero escuchar. No, qué hijos de su... Joyovers.
So that's how it's all connected.
So, it seems you believe me after all.
Do you want me to go public with this?
No, of course not. At least, not right now.
Then why did you bother telling me?
You've read my work. What do you think?
Venganza.
Even if you were to go public with all of this right now, he'd simply deny everything. It's been too long. Almost 20 years. Anything that could be used as evidence has long faded away. Even if there might have been a solitary island of truth once upon a time, it has long sunk beneath the waves by now. Justice will never find him.
Not if you don't try.
I know that as the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, you will always stand on the side of justice. But do you really think a cushy life in prison really constitutes justice for him?
Sí, porque tiene influencia para vivir bien en el fuerte. Va a comprar un montón de cupones del fuerte.
What are you trying to say?
I've been observing you from a distance. Your portrayal of the musketeer was exquisite.
Estamos ahí atrás al fondo.
Pull the trigger of justice against him. Let the villain get what he deserves.
You want me to let you go so you may complete your revenge?
No, Officer chevreuse. I know that would be impossible. No. What I'd like is for you to perform the deed on my behalf.
Vaya. Mientras tanto, en un lugar cercano...
Oh, chevreuse sure is taking her time. What could they be talking about anyway? Oh, Paimon's worried. What if he decided to attack her?
No creo. Si en caso quien está en peligro es él.
Oh, you do have a point. Still, do you have any idea who the rich person might be? And why the novelist doesn't want us to hear what he's saying to chevreuse?
Sorry to keep you waiting, you two.
Oh.
Hey, how did your talk go?
I've already sent someone to escort Baptiste back to the headquarters for questioning. He wasn't lying about the musket. It wasn't...
But what about the name? Did he tell you the name of the rich guy?
Yes, he did. But for now, I have to return to the Special Patrol. There are still a
Y
few
sí, ya
loose ends
sabemos
I
que
need
vas
to
a ir
tie
a
up.
ejecutar la venganza, chevreuse. Vas a ir a asesinar a alguien. Sí, nos
I'll
está ocultando
probably be
algo.
quite busy over the next few days, so apologies if you don't see me on set.
All right, Paimon understands if you can't tell us everything you know. We'll just keep an eye on the Steambird then.
Actually, there's still something else I need your help with.
Oh, acabó. Son más de 3 capítulos entonces. Bien, continuamos con la aventura. Ajá. Qué rápido amaneció.
Good morning! Ayaka and I were just talking about you.
Así con razón me picaba la oreja.
Is chevreuse still not joining us today?
Está recontra ocupada buscando un sospechoso.
Huh? That's such a pity.
O bueno.
Director Furina said that we've only got a few small scenes left before wrapping up the entire thing. She even said that she'll get me into a couple scenes, so everyone will have a chance to shine and run
Ah,
out of
yoimiya va a
camera.
tener su cameo, claro.
We were also planning on having a victory feast once we're all finished filming. You can join us, right?
Pero por supuesto.
If only chevreuse was here. I still haven't taken a photo with her.
Pero bueno.
I'm afraid that can't be helped. Those special patrol folks are like phantoms when they've got a case on their hands.
But to be honest,
No me
I'm
cansa
even
su
more
voz es
concerned by what I
hermosa,
read in the
chiori.
Steambird earlier
Muy buena
this
voz le han
morning.
dado.
It said that the killer in the murder case was none other than the author of the Two Musketeers. Oh yeah, I heard
ok,
about
de
that too.
tarde o temprano se iban a
He
enterar.
forward and confessed his crimes, but gave no explanation as to why he pulled the trigger. We didn't know about this case at all when we joined the film. Is it going to affect the reception of our work?
From a pure publicity standpoint, this will draw a lot more attention to our film. I have to say, though, that no director can be perfectly comfortable with garnering attention through means other than artistic skill.
Claro, no hay que juzgar el arte de alguien solo porque ese alguien hizo algo malo. O sea, si hace buen arte, aprecias su arte, no lo aprecias a esa persona.
It's not my fault that I'm super popular.
Ya, te estás tirando flores a tú sola.
My popularity has,
Sunk to an all-time low?
spread to the four corners of
A ver, los que no han entendido el chiste dice sunk, o sea, de hundido. Y eso debe haber traído un trauma tremendo a Furina ahorita. El subtítulo no va acorde, pero bueno. Donde florecen las rosas en el campo. Ajá, ya estamos aquí para filmar esta última escena, supongo.
Excuse me, everyone.
Xavier.
Xavier!
Xavier.
Since we last saw you.
I've been talking non-stop with the Film Association, and I'm absolutely swamped trying to coordinate the film's marketing. So forgive me for not being around more often, but please believe me when I say that I will make sure everyone's hard work gets the exposure it deserves.
Más te vale, ojalá mi nombre tiene que estar ahí en los créditos.
Yes, that's one way to put it. Oh, and before we begin the final round of filming, please allow me to finally introduce you to the original investor of our film, Mr. Morris.
Ahí está, el señor Morris Garage. ¿Qué vas a hacer ahora? ¿Nos vas a dar la plata ahora sí?
Yes, glad to make your acquaintance, Mr. Morris. We've heard about the issues you've encountered with your financial situation, and genuinely hope that things have taken a turn for the better.
Oh, well, the situation has indeed improved somewhat.
Ya, entonces.
Don't worry, Mr. Morris. Accidents and last-minute challenges happen all the time. There's no need to blame yourself over it. The good news is that we're almost done filming now. And
C'est
I
fini.
say that this is the best story I've ever seen.
Is that so?
All right.
Medio
Now that
sospechoso
we've
este men,
gotten
¿eh?
all the pleasantries out of the way, we'll mostly be
perdón.
filming typical people and scenery from the streets today to improve the sense of environmental ambiance in some parts of the film. Oh, and there'll be a cameo for Mr. Kamisato and Miss Yoimiya as well. They'll be used to show outsider perspectives on the fates of the two musketeers.
That's right. Ayato should be here any minute.
Okay.
Excellent! Then let's start with the scenery shots. Camera and clapper loader, you're up.
Yep, we'll be ready.
Sacamos la cámara
Remember,
4K.
all we need are some wide zoom shots of the streets. If you happen to find some particularly lovely patches of flowers and grass, feel free to grab some close-ups of those as well.
A ver.
Ready? Lights! Camera! Action! Okay, Now move the camera slowly. Try to focus on that flower. What's
Yeah.
wrong? Just adjust the focal length a bit.
Primer plano de la flor.
Something the matter?
Parece como si el daguerrotipo está.
But wasn't it
¿Qué?
working
What?
fine for all the days before? Veronique, can we try a different camera?
No problem. How about this one?
All right, let's give it another try. Lights, camera, action!
Action. Uy.
Don't tell me. This one is broken too. Veronique, do we have any other spare ones we can use?
I'm
Pero no
afraid we
parecieran
only brought
rotos, sino
these two
pareciera
today.
como que hubiera una distorsión o algo así.
What? Then go find a workshop to get them repaired right away. Oh, and you too, Bono. Go find our spare camera in the warehouse and bring
Ya,
it
tranquila,
back to the
Furina.
set.
On it.
Greetings, everyone. My apologies for the delay. Is something the matter, Ayaka?
It seems like there are some issues with the filming equipment today. We're stuck for the moment.
Oh.
I see.
Well, let's not just stand here twiddling our thumbs. Actors, to the makeup booth. We'll start on the next scene as soon as we get a working camera.
Les puedo prestar mi teléfono si es lo que, si es lo que necesita.
The people at the workshop told me that the part which holds the lens in place seemed to have fallen off. That's super strange. It was perfectly fine just yesterday.
Well, no time to dwell
Y
on that
entonces,
now. Let's
ya la
get
volvieron a
back to
poner.
filming. Ahem, quiet on set. Places,
Mira,
everyone.
otra vez va a fallar.
Lights, camera, action.
By the way, have you heard about that recent murder case?
Yes, I have. It seems that they've caused quite the commotion in the city.
I heard that the chief of the guards is so mad about not catching the culprit that he's about to explode.
Oh? I find that quite hard to imagine, considering how he already looks most days.
Director, we have a problem.
Oh, ¿qué pasó?
Oh, we're in the middle of a take. Couldn't you wait until we wrapped up this scene?
No, Director, our film, all the finalized film that we've been keeping in the case has disappeared.
Oh wait, well, what did you say?
What?
Mr. Bono, please take me to where the film was kept right away.
Esto es grave, esto sí es grave, ¿eh?
Too.
Esto es muy grave.
Yoimiya, you have to stay here. Oh. Okay, listen up. Everyone who's not working on this current scene can go with Bono to look for the film. Everyone else, stay put and wrap up the scene. Unbelievable. How could all these problems happen in just one day?
Todo lo malo, toda la mala vibra se acumuló en un solo día.
We're back.
Todo estaba yendo tan bien y...
How did it go? Did you find the film?
We found it in the sewers.
What
Huh?
the f...
In the sewers? Is the film still okay?
We discovered it just in time, so we should still be able to salvage it. The others are checking now to see if we lost any specific scenes.
En las alcantarillas, ¿ok?
You scared me for a moment there. I nearly thought we had lost everything. I really don't want to experience that feeling of despair again.
Okay, but who could have stolen the film and dumped it there?
Ajá, alguien tiene que haberlo puesto.
Could it be some competitors working on other films?
But if they wanted to harass us, why wait until the last day?
Obvio, porque ya tienen casi todo.
Okay,
Es más fácil arruinarle algo a alguien cuando ya está a punto de terminarlo.
Let's strike while the iron is still
Porque tiene que
hot
empezar desde
and
nuevo
wrap this
todo
thing
desde el
up
comienzo.
once and for all.
Yeah, let's finish.
No es que yo lo haga ni nada de eso, ¿no? O sea, yo jamás haría algo así, ¿no? O sea, jamás sabotearía a competidores porque eso es de cobardes. Si tengo que perder, pierdo. Ya está.
I would like to officially
Pero
announce
jamás
that
sabotearía.
our entry to the festival, The Two Musketeers, has now concluded filming.
Bravo.
I'm unspent.
Solo estás flotando, solo has golpeado una claqueta, nada más es lo único que has hecho.
Even though the filming process proved to be extremely challenging, everyone provided valuable and unique contributions to the final product. Thank you all for your dedication and support.
De nada.
And just like Director Furina, I would also like to extend my most heartfelt thanks to all of you. Really, You've all helped me so much. I just...
No llores, no llores, no
Let's
llores,
save
hermano.
the awards speech for later, and hopefully also get some rehearsals in before the real thing. Anyway, now it's time to party! Let's all make our way to the beach and have a celebration feast so loud and fun that even the blubber beast will want in.
Ok, el que no se va vomitando no se ha divertido entonces.
Whoa, this place is hopping. Everyone's finally getting to relax after wrapping up the film.
Oh.
Let's go chat with someone.
Ok, quiero hablar con todos.
Have you ever seen a fireworks show, Mr. Morris? It's pretty amazing.
I'm afraid I haven't, but I'll take your word for it.
Ok, yoimiya como siempre hablando de fuegos pirotécnicos. A ver qué dice Chiori.
This is turning out to be quite the party.
Ah, no es fiestera, ok. Vamos a hablar con los hermanos Kamisato.
Everything went rather smoothly. Thank you for your concern.
Ayato told me that we've already confirmed the dates for some Inazuma Fontaine cultural exchange events.
Ok,
So
o
the
sea,
next time we visit,
básicamente
we'll be
eventos
doing
nuevos
so
para el
in our
juego.
capacities as the representatives of the Yashiro Commission.
Vamos a celebrar el Festival Irodori en Fontaine.
We'll be able to find Fontaine detective novels in Inazuma from now on. Oh, wait. Wouldn't Yaimiko get upset if that happens? That would be stealing some of her business.
No creo que le parezca molesto.
He's got a point. She's always complaining that light novels have become bland and too predictable after all.
The cultural exchange won't only feature literatures of both nations, of course. We have also made plans for cross-cultural engagements in the fields of gourmet cuisine, toy making, and artisan craftsmanship.
Wow, Paimon's getting
A la gente de Fontaine le va a gustar mucho los juguetes de Inazuma.
When the time comes, be sure to visit and participate in all the events.
Ok, eso va a estar interesantísimo. A ver qué dice el... Oh, me equivoqué de botón. Perdón.
I was thinking, if this film turns out to be a success, could I ask the two of you to stay and be a part of my crew? Of course, I'll definitely increase the pay for next time.
Ok, sí, más te vale que pagues mejor, porque si no... Porque podríamos tener mucha más gente para filmar
Thank
esto.
you for the offer, Mr. Xavier. But I've made some plans to
No, no
go
te
on a
vayas.
journey to the other nations once the festival is over.
No.
Is that so? Well, then in that case, bon voyage, Miss Veronique. Please feel free to get in touch once you've returned to Fontaine.
Ok. Y por último, Furina.
Oh, my darling clapper loader and camera operator. You've both worked really hard.
Paimon thinks you worked even harder than us. Honestly, Paimon was getting a little tired of playing with the clapperboard by the end of it.
No.
First of all, Paimon started having dreams of you shouting, "Lights, camera, action!" into Paimon's ears. The actual dream can't even start until you've yelled that.
Hey, if anything, shouldn't I be more grand and delightful in your dreams? We've been through so much together, and that's how your brain remembers me?
That's not Paimon's fault. We've just used the clapperboard too much lately.
Anyway, what's most important is that we've wrapped the film. I'm pretty confident that we'll take first prize.
¿Estás segura?
Hey, no need to mention the official name.
Wait, now that you mention it, if we did win the prize, would Furina just get a statue of herself?
Come on, I don't need that kind of attention. Xavier can accept the reward on our behalf.
Just imagine! Furina accepting the Furina Award and holding a Furina statue.
Ay, ay, ay. La megalomanía en su máxima expresión.
To my dessert now. You all can keep discussing that on your own.
Eso. Habla con la gente. ¿Quién falta? Chiori. Oh. Oh, tiene otro diálogo más. A ver, a ver.
Chiori!
Hey, you two.
Are you not really into these kinds of big social occasions?
Not particularly. But this is still better than Fontaine Fashion Week.
Oh.
But if this film becomes a big hit, people will definitely come flocking to your shop.
Yes, That's highly likely. As long as the film can premiere as planned.
Are you still worried about the case?
That and all the obstacles we had to face today.
You're right. It's as if all our bad luck just manifested
Como
at
dije, todo lo malo se acumuló en un solo día.
Why today of all days?
Justo que vino este
No,
men,
it's
claro,
nothing.
Morris.
We've already delivered the film to the editors, so there should be nothing more to
Justo
worry
cuando
about.
regresa Morris, claro.
How are you doing, Mr. Morris? You having a good time?
Well,
Pensé que ya habían hablado ustedes dos. ¿Por qué se están volviendo a presentar?
Party is scheduled to end.
Judging by how much fun everyone's having, I'd say probably not until well after midnight.
Yo solo veo a 7, 8 tipos ahí hablando.
There's something that you still have to take care of at home, Mr. Morris?
Fiesta épica.
Oh, well, I'm just not a late night person, so I might take off shortly.
Sí, claro.
Oh no! Silly me. I almost forgot something super
Ah,
important.
yoimiya también se dio cuenta, creo.
What is
Qué inteligente esta chica.
I prepared a whole batch of fireworks for the party, but I forgot to bring them over from the warehouse.
Fireworks, you say? Well, that's truly a pity. Sorry things didn't go as planned.
Could you help me carry them over, Mr. Morris? I won't be able to fetch all of them by myself.
Me? Are you sure that you can't find anyone else?
I just wanted to make this a surprise for everyone. The warehouse isn't far from
Porque
here.
esto
I'll be there in
esto
no
tiene una
time.
trama que ya he visto en otros lados, ¿eh?
Please, Mr. Morris. These are some of
En
the
animes
best
un poquito
fireworks they've
turbios.
ever made. So
Ok,
I
me
also
voy a
want you
parar
to
ahí.
see them before you
Voy a
leave.
parar ahí.
They're stunning.
But
It's okay. Just come with me. If we're sneaky
Ese
enough,
guiño.
nobody else will see us leaving.
all right.
The warehouse is right over here.
Ah, mira,
I
ve, soy
put
yoimiya.
fireworks there in advance,
Oh, yo quiero
so
este
it shouldn't
arco.
be too much work bringing them back.
It's still a ways away from the party.
Sorry about that, Mr. Morris. It's probably because I'm used to carrying fireworks all the time, so it doesn't feel like a lot of work to me.
Dato curioso, ahora ponen paredes cuando te hacen probar así a un solo personaje diferente. Después del incidente de Nilo en Sumeru.
It's dark in here. Wait here, Mr. Morris. I think the light switch should be somewhere over here.
Why did I have to get roped into this?
Ya sabía que este men era un traidor.
What was that?
Oh.
Who's there?
Ese grito.
Get me out of here!
Did you really think you'd get away, Morris?
You've got the wrong guy. It wasn't me. I'm not the killer.
You know, Eliza died a far more heroic death than this. She fought your assassin to the end, to save the children she had hidden beneath the floorboards. That is Eliza's pendant. The one with a photo of you two inside. The one you gave her. Ring any bells?
It's a fake. It has to be. There's no way.
No way your assassin didn't destroy it, you mean? Did you ever love her, Morris? Or was killing her always the plan?
No, please. Listen to me. I told Eliza to keep us a secret. I paid her plenty for her silence. I never thought she'd keep the child. Everything was gonna come out, and I had no choice. She forced my hand. No! I'm begging you. I have money. Just name your price, please.
You can keep your Mora, and you can go to hell. I'm
Son
Captain
falsas.
Chevreuse of the Special Patrol. Morris, you're under arrest for Eliza's murder.
Eso. Ya sabíamos, ya todo, ya que ya. Era obvio. ¡Ey!
You're under arrest too, prop manager Veronique.
Ya sabía también que ella tenía algo que ver.
I should call you the second musketeer.
Son hermanos. Algo me dice que son hermanos los dos.
Wait, what's going on? This wasn't in the script.
Drop the gun, Veronique.
Why? Why would you keep me from exacting revenge on this heartless monster?
Drop your weapon. This is my final warning.
What is going on?
Oh no
Do I
tienen nada
have
que
to
ver.
spell it out for you, Morris? Everything that took place just now was staged to get you to confess the truth. But this last part is all improv, of course.
Chevreuse, you told us you wanted us to help you stage a play. You never said anything about the second musketeer.
A ver, ya me confundí. ¿Es su hermana o no?
It's because even I had no way to confirm my theory until now. Thank you for your performance, yoimiya. Could I trouble you to go and bring in the other Special Patrol members? They should be on standby just outside. Oh, and please tell the other cast members not to worry about us. We'll be rejoining them shortly.
On it.
Corre, yoimiya, corre.
So what do you think, Morris? Care to talk about what happened 20 years ago? My patience is limited, you know. Don't force me to take you back to the interrogation room. I'd wager that you wouldn't last for more than a minute in there. With the recording we made, you have no chance of winning in court. Cooperating with us now is the most practical move.
All right. I'll talk. I hired an assassin to murder Elisa. She once worked as a maid on my family's estate. She was very beautiful, and after some time I fell for her. We kept our relationship a secret and carried out an affair for some time, but it wasn't long before she became pregnant. And if my parents ever found out, they would have stripped me of my inheritance and status, driven me out of my home.
Oh.
I also didn't expect Elisa to insist on bringing the pregnancy to term. She even asked me to leave my family and travel far, far away with her.
She believed that you were truly in love with her.
Qué hijo de perra.
I didn't have a choice. I gave her a large sum of mora, told her to leave the family and to get rid of the baby.
Es un hijo de perra.
But then years later, she sent me a letter. There were photos of 2 children, and she even asked if I could find some time to visit them.
Huh? 2 children? Paimon thought Baptiste was the only... you mean...
Even if she had the children against your will, you could have just ignored the letter entirely. Why kill her?
I had just gotten engaged to be married to an heiress from another wealthy family. So if anyone were to find out about Elisa, my life would be completely ruined. I didn't have a choice.
No. You always had a choice. You just made the wrong choice. Again.
Do you know how it feels to watch your mother be killed right in front of you? My brother and I were hardly even school age yet. We were hidden beneath the floorboards, grasping each other's hands like a lifeline. We were so terrified that we didn't even know we could ever take a breath. All we could do was to watch Mother try to fight back, and then collapse to the floor. Even after the assassin left, we were still too terrified to leave our hiding spot. We thought that he might come back. It was only until the next evening when we finally climbed out and gathered around our mother.
Oh.
But she had already become cold and stiff to the touch.
You made up your mind right then and there to bring this case to light.
Not only that, we resolved to get our revenge.
And that's why you became the Musketeers.
No, that's why I became a musketeer. The man from before was also killed by me. My brother had nothing to do with it.
I figured as much.
Uh-huh.
You did?
I once told these two that he didn't look like a killer to me. His confession from that night also rubbed me the wrong way. I think what really tipped me off was, how could I not feel a sense of regret in him?
Huh?
He confessed faster than any criminal I've ever met, but he didn't say a single word about you. He insisted that he was the sole perpetrator in the case.
Se protegieron entre sí, pues.
But after the questioning ended, I disassembled the musket we dug up from his backyard, put it in front of him, and told him to reassemble it. He had no idea where to even start. He's never touched a gun in his life. Based on that, I determined that he was not acting alone. He only surrendered himself to draw our attention and create a moment of opportunity for his partner. So, I decided to play along. And as expected, the second musketeer followed us without hesitation once she saw Morris get separated from the rest of the cast. Besides, why else would he call the novel The Two Musketeers?
But how did you know it was Veronique?
I figured it out the moment Baptiste told me his father's name. That so-called financial crisis was all just a ruse. He just wanted to sign up as the investor and then leave the film without any source of funding.
Okay.
After all, he has a vested interest in minimizing the reach of this story. It's really just the same thing as what he did to Eliza all those years ago.
Human scum.
But then Xavier pulled out all the stops and got the film made against all odds. Morris couldn't have that. With the killer in custody, he figured it was safe to act. And so he came to visit the set today, just as I expected.
En el último día, justo.
So you were behind all those mishaps today?
Es culpa de él, exacto.
As for the identity of the second musketeer, I assumed they'd probably stay close to Morris and look for an opening. And if they already knew that Morris was the film's investor, then that narrowed the list of potential suspects as well. Furthermore, being the props manager would allow the culprit to avoid scrutiny by purchasing mechanical parts in the name of the crew.
Exacto.
With that hypothesis in mind, I went back to check Baptiste's orphanage adoption records. Guess whose name I saw on the same page, just a few lines from his.
My brother. He trusted you.
As in, he trusted me to perform the deed on his behalf?
He trusted you to stand on the side of justice.
I am.
I thought you could do it as well. Oh, the look on your face when you told him to go to hell. I really thought you'd put a bullet in his brain. You know what he has done. Are you
Pero no
telling me that
puede,
you'd
no
rather
puede
see him
matarlo,
spend the
pues.
rest of his life living like a king in the fortress of Meripede? I will never be able to forget the feeling of my mother's cold, lifeless hands. And you would call this ending fair?
No.
I won't lie, Veronique. I did hesitate when your brother first told me about the truth. I wondered. I agonized over whether I should really put a bullet in his head.
So why don't you?
Because that should never be how justice is carried out in this world. Perhaps, to you, justice is simply reciprocated. An eye for an eye, and a life for a life. But everyone has their own understanding of justice. If everyone were to
Claro,
pursue
además si
their
lo
own
matan no va a
definition of it,
sufrir, no
there
te
would
va a
be no
devolver
more
a tu madre
order in this
tampoco, o sea.
world. Today, you'll kill Morris, and tomorrow, his children may come for you. The world cannot render judgments based on a desire for revenge. That will only lead to a cycle of revenge.
Exacto,
as well
el
as the
círculo del
destruction
odio.
of order and civilized
Venganza,
society.
venganza y más venganza.
Fontaine is founded on a set of laws and a standardized code of justice. That is why we are the nation of justice. But with all that said, I will promise you this. Morris will not lead a cushy life in the fortress of Meripede.
Chevreuse, the rest of the special patrol is here.
Thank you so much, yoimiya. Letelier, Terena, please take them away.
Ok.
I still can't agree with your reasoning.
I know.
Justice has not been delivered. At least, not today.
Chevreuse.
Let's go. We should give an
Bueno, no se
explanation
puede
to the crew.
satisfacer a todos. Hiciste lo correcto.
Thank you for your concern. I'm fine. I'm just thinking about the things in life that have driven people to take justice into their own hands.
Le cuentan al equipo todo lo ocurrido, ok. Ahí acaba de poner cara de sorprendida. ¿Qué? ¿Cómo?
Who would have thought Morris would turn out to be... I'm at a loss of words. How could he have done something like this?
I'm just glad that you're all safe and sound. Who knew that such a labyrinth of cases would be behind this story?
Well, what should we do now? We have a finished film, of course, but should we still go ahead with the premiere?
What do you mean? Shouldn't you be even more motivated to spread the word now that you've learned the truth?
Claro.
Chiori is right. I'd also like more people to see this story for themselves.
But the real
Pongan nomás ahí al comienzo, basada en una historia real.
Somewhat from the one in the script. Is that still acceptable to you, Miss Chevreuse?
The call is yours. We still have time to reshoot an ending if that's what you'd like.
No, it's fine as is. I like what we have for the catharsis. Romanticism is what gives works of art their appeal. Fiction is able to explore means of restitution that could never work in real life. Just like the real world, the world of stories also has its own set of rules and justice. These different possibilities are what initially drew me to reading in the first place.
Sounds good to me. I support your decision.
What about Veronique? Will she be...
She will soon face her judgment alongside her brother and Morris. If I had to guess, they'll probably all be sent to the fortress of Meripede. I'll make sure to give Risley a heads up about it.
Oh, you mean that kind of heads up?
¿Qué?
Exactly.
Oh, ¿qué pasó? Ahí hay doble sentido.
Now that everything's been taken care of, there's no reason for us to keep looking all gloomy and
Florence se va a poner celosa.
Let's get back to the feast and enjoy each other's company. We'll be starting the post-production process tomorrow. You should join us, Chevreuse. You missed the first few hours of the party, didn't you?
Hay snacks chéveres, lo que más te gusta.
Count me in.
Then I'll wait for you over there. There's still some good news that I'd like to share with Chevreuse.
Te voy a llevar a vivir conmigo, Inazuma, la verdad.
Traveler, Paimon, could you wait for me by the sea after the party ends? I'd like to go on a brief walk with the two of you.
Trato
Thank
hecho.
you very much.
Qué buena fiesta, ¿eh? ¡Fonta! ¡No! Están jugando TCG. Están jugando TCG. Ay, no.
Sorry for the wait.
Oh, we weren't waiting long at all. Is there something else you wanted to tell us?
No, I don't have anything new to share. I just felt that since you were my investigation partners, I should have another conversation with the two of you.
¿Sobre qué?
Traveler, how would you have responded to Baptiste's request if you were in my shoes?
Yo creo que lo mismo que tú, ¿no? Pero vamos a ponerle no sé.
When I was young, my father often
Yo
took
tampoco
me here to
sabría cómo
swim.
era.
We'd come rain or shine, even when it was freezing cold. He told me that swimming was the best activity to train one's strength of will. You could never give up before reaching the shore, especially when the water was cold.
Oh? Why's that?
Because the moment you give up would be the moment you die. At that point, I still hadn't received my vision. One winter, the chilly wind felt almost like knives on my skin, and the seawater was so frigid that it numbed my toes the moment I stepped in. I cried and begged my father to spare me from having to swim across, but he wouldn't listen. He used to be a member of the Special Patrol as well. You could say it was his way of educating his children.
That sounds
Vaya.
awful.
Padre estricto. Padre
When he saw
militar,
that I
obviamente
wouldn't
va a ser
stop
estricto.
crying, he just picked me up and tossed me into the icy water.
A la mierda.
The bone-chilling cold took away my senses. I couldn't feel anything but fear and rage. I waited for my father to save me, but one look and I knew he'd already started swimming for the opposite shore. I realized that if I were to give up, I really would die right then and there. I used all of my strength to try and catch up to my father. Those few minutes felt longer than my whole life up until that point. I've never felt afraid about anything in my life after that, nor have I ever cried again.
That way of teaching would have never
Lo
worked
que me
on
gustaría saber es
Paimon.
cómo aparece tu ojo.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right method for anyone. It's just that, working now as I am in the pursuit of justice, I still sometimes feel like I've been tossed into that winter sea all over again.
Chevreuse.
But the worse I feel, the more I know to never give up. The alternative would be to forever lose myself among the waves. Anyway, how about a race? Neither of us will drown, but we can still see who swims faster.
A ver.
You guys go ahead. Paimon will grab the clock to mark the start of the race.
Ya, Paimon. Ok. ¿Con quién debo nadar? Oh, ok. Cambiamos a chevreuse. Como no puedo cambiar mientras estoy en el agua. Y ganó chevreuse. Y Navia llega para felicitarlo.
Oh, that felt good.
You were so fast in the water, chevreuse.
Me pregunto si cambia el diálogo si es que terminamos la carrera con la viajera.
So, about the special patrol. Did you join because of your dad?
Partly, but I'd say I was more inspired by the heroes I read about in stories growing up.
Oh, so it's due to your love of stories.
Of course, it was only after I joined the special patrol that I learned that truth is often stranger than fiction. Come on, let's walk a bit more.
Okay.
To be honest, I do sometimes question whether the decisions I make are the right ones. But I know that no matter what, I must keep swimming. Because the only thing I've got my eyes on is the shore in the distance.
Un momento para que esto sea más canónico. Ahora sí esto es más canónico.
Thank you for coming on this walk with me. I feel a lot better after getting all that off my chest.
Siempre estamos encantados de escuchar historias.
Back at Baptiste's house.
Huh, you're right. I didn't realize we were so close.
He really did plant a lot of flowers. It's just like how he described it in the story.
Huh? Wait. Paimon, Traveler, look! The rainbow roses in the garden. They're in full bloom now.
Oh, capítulo 4 terminado. Ok. A ver, chevreuse, ¿qué tienes que decirnos?
Even though it's a bit late, I must thank you for investigating this case with me. Not on behalf of the Special Patrol this time. It's a personal expression of gratitude from yours truly.
¿Cómo está tu padre ahora?
You want to hear more about my father? To be honest, I didn't spend that much time with him. He was always busy with the Special Patrol, so he would often return home really late at night. Once, he didn't come home for a long time, maybe a whole week or so. When I went out to buy food, I learned that he had become a criminal, and by extension, that made me a criminal's daughter.
Oh.
But we can talk about that another day.
¿Cómo ha sido el caso?
I actually have a lot of sympathy for Veronique and Baptiste. I can understand the hatred they feel for their father. But that doesn't mean I'll allow them to walk the path of evil, even if it might lead to another sense of justice.
¿Y qué de la
Films are
iconografía?
different from the real world. They're a form of art and represent the wishes in people's hearts. I adore the two musketeers, and I'm very happy to have had the opportunity to act the role as one. I can't wait to catch the film when it premieres in the Opera House. I'm looking forward to seeing the audience's reaction to the climactic ending.
Y tienes que
Thank
tener
you for
más
looking
cuidado.
out for me. I'll see you at the award ceremony. I'd be very surprised if we don't win.
Ok, estamos con bastante confianza. Espera 2 días. Wow. Ok, a ver, vamos a ver la premiación. Un tiempo después de todo lo ocurrido, la iconografía se proyecta sin problemas y el caso de asesinato queda resuelto.
Xavier, it's been a while.
Xavier.
Hey there, you two. Sorry I've been scarce. I've been buried in marketing and preparing the film for release ever since we wrapped post-production.
The award ceremony is today, right? Paimon wonders if we'll win the Furina Award.
I'd give it a 90% chance.
Solo 90.
Furina! Oh, Paimon didn't know you were already here. You're earlier than everyone else.
I'm sure
okay.
the others will also be here in no time. Xavier.
Xavier.
If we end up getting called on stage, shouldn't you come up with a name for our crew?
What? But we don't even know if we're going to win. I wouldn't want to jinx our chances by celebrating early.
Surely you've seen the audience's reactions to our film. We've had nothing but critical acclaim. You've also had conversations with the Opera House's operating staff, right? Didn't they want to increase the number of showings?
Oh, vamos a superar a Avengers
From the
con
box
esto.
office, you can now open your very own film company.
But that's all credit to my amazing crew. You've all helped to make this a reality, so I can't be the only one asked to come up with a
Qué humilde
name.
este men, qué humilde.
Well, give it some thought. I'm sure the crew will respect your choice.
All right, but before that, Traveler and Paimon, could I trouble you to quickly pay a visit to the Fortress of Meripede?
¿Para qué? No quiero volver a ir a ese sitio. No quiero volver a prisión.
I wanted to ask you two to invite chevreuse to join us at the ceremony.
Ah.
I haven't been able to find her recently, so I haven't had the chance to invite her personally. According to the papers, the culprits of the musket murder case will be personally escorted today by the captain of the Special Patrol to the Fortress of Meripede.
Oh,
Oh, Paimon gets it now.
bueno. Ah, pero no quiero volver a esa cárcel.
Try to come up with a few snappy sounding names.
All right, then I'll leave you to it.
Let's go. Yahoo. A ver, ¿qué van a
Will we
hablar?
really win an award?
Trust me. When have I ever been wrong about something like this?
Ok. ¿Hay más gente aquí? No, no hay nadie.
This is as far as I'll be taking them. I'll leave the three of them to you now.
Ok.
Got another errand to run?
Something like
Risley.
that. I'm expected at a party.
Now that's something you don't hear every day. Found a new pastime?
No, it's just a special occasion.
Chevreuse! Risley!
Festivals really do bring people together. It's been a while since I last had so many visitors at the Fortress of Meripede.
Call it the festival spirit, I guess.
Yeah, you could say that. Even our head nurse has gotten herself all worked up preparing
No,
super
gracias, no
deluxe
quiero probar
nutritious
eso.
shakes. Just
Were you talking about work just now?
We've already finished discussing everything. So, what do you think about my heads up, Mr. Risley?
I believe I haven't yet made any promises or guarantees.
But you also didn't shoot me down. Here, how about this? You could give everyone a copy of the newspaper. Perhaps on the day when the cover story happens to, oh, I don't know, expose a certain someone's misdeeds from 20 years ago?
¿Qué?
I suppose then a certain someone may soon find himself the most unlucky person in the Fortress of Meripede.
While another two people will soon be hailed as heroes.
Speaking of heroes, did you two need something from me?
Oh, actually, we're here for...
You're here to invite me to the party, right? Don't worry, I didn't forget.
Ok.
Ooh, then let's head back right away! See you, Risley! Happy Fontaine Festival!
And the same to you.
Ay, ay, ay. La gentita. Algo más que...
Please, go and enjoy the festival.
Perdón por subirme a tu escritorio, Risley.
And the winner of the Furina Award for the first Fontanalia Film Festival is... The Two
Los dos,
Musketeers!
ya sabía. Uy, está buena esta imagen, ¿eh?
Congratulations, Mr. Xavier.
We won? I can't believe it! I really can't thank all of you enough!
See? My takes on Fontaine's entertainment industry have never been wrong.
Now, please welcome to the stage the producer of The Two Musketeers, Mr. Xavier!
Pero ahora su humildad le va a ganar, va a decir, vengan todos.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for your recognition and support. While I'm up here, I would love to give special thanks to...
Time really flies, huh?
It certainly feels that way. It feels like it was only yesterday when you were teaching me to hold a musket.
Will you come back to Fontaine again?
Of course. I'm very fond of this city. There are so many novel and interesting things that it's been hard to keep track of them all. But how about you? Would you be interested in visiting Inazuma?
Muy lejos para ella.
I can't say the thought has crossed my mind before, but I'd be willing to consider it now.
I will be eagerly awaiting your visit. It would be wonderful if you could visit my home and enjoy a taste of our tea and desserts.
Yeah, let's keep in touch.
Did you accomplish
chiori.
what you came here for?
Yes. And you should visit Inazuma again sometime.
How has Ogura and her business been?
To my knowledge, she's doing quite well.
Tell her I said hi.
I certainly will.
I heard the thunderstorm has stopped.
Yes, and the war has also been brought to an end. Peace and prosperity has returned to the islands.
I quite like the sound of that. Perfect for hanging textiles out to...
I'd like to offer my thanks again to the entire cast and crew. Without you, I would have never completed this film, much less had the opportunity to be standing on this stage. With the support of my entire crew, I would like to officially announce our film company,
Mosquete Studios.
Musketeer Pictures.
Woohoo! That has a really nice ring to it.
Then in that case, let's please welcome all the members of Musketeer Pictures onto the stage for a commemorative photo.
Hey.
Paimon didn't know we'd also be taking pictures.
Director Furina, I believe you are the most deserving person to raise this trophy.
Huh? No. There's no need. It's so embarrassing.
It's an honor the director deserves.
Yes, I agree.
Ay, Furina, tú te mereces al mundo.
Just accept that you're not getting out of this.
Ready, everyone? 3, 2, 1. Musketeer Pictures!
Necesito tomar una captura de esto. Listo. ¿Y eso es todo? Bueno, aún hay gente con la que podemos hablar.
Miss yoimiya, we haven't had the chance to talk, but please accept my thanks for everything you've done over the past few days.
Oh, but I feel like I didn't do anything out of the ordinary.
I'm very grateful for your assistance during that special performance in the warehouse. It was always going to be somewhat risky, to engage and draw away Morris all on your own. You're only a civilian and have never been trained to act in such a dangerous situation.
Don't say it like that. As the director's assistant, it was my duty to help out the crew however I could. It was an honor to help you solve the case. I have to admit, though, my heart was thumping super hard the entire time it was laying on the ground. I was scared that everyone would notice.
You did great.
Oh, and before I forget, if you ever visit Inazuma, please come and pay a visit to Naganohara Fireworks. I'll make some fireworks for you. I even know what shape we make.
Haces un mosquete que pueda disparar. Forma de... Exacto, ya sabía ya.
Telling you now would ruin the surprise. If you really want to see it, just come and visit me.
Furina, ahora vamos a hablar a Furina.
Please allow me to take just one more photo of you. I would also love to get your autograph, just as a memento of our time together on the crew.
Hey, I've had enough of the camera flashes from when we were all up on stage.
But, Lady Furina, you are the best director I've ever met! The most photogenic maiden in all of Fontaine! This kind of lively and celebratory setting is exactly where you shine. Come, the brightest star of our land! Show us your light! The camera is waiting to sing praises of your beauty!
Well, I'm flattered.
Exagerado.
But... All right. I'll humor you and try a few more different poses.
Es su animación
I don't
de...
have to hold the trophy, right?
de la selección de personajes.
Of course. You may pose however you like. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the heavens, my luck has been beyond belief.
Y bien, entonces ha sido un muy buen evento, muy bonito. Me ha gustado la historia, la trama ha sido genial. Pensar que todo había sido real, todo había ocurrido y esta película que hemos grabado ha sido basada en, digamos, en hechos reales dentro del juego. Entonces le da otro toque, le da un buen giro de tuerca ha sido, ¿no? Que hayan sido las mismas personas que nos estaban apoyando Pero de verdad me ha gustado mucho esta aventura y hemos podido conocer a Chevreuse, un personaje nuevo que dentro de poco también estará disponible para ser jugable. Entonces, nada, espero que este video les haya gustado. No olviden suscribirse y dejar su like si es que quieren ver más videos así. Y nos estamos viendo en una próxima oportunidad. ¡Chao!
Fire.